back home. Your Mrs. Anoche Plaza, any boss of them dino, Edian Mishakran so. Your circle, tiptoe and inside shop house 0554 114 878. What do you call Lawson Beverages Limited? Dr. Lawson here, Lawson Delayman Beaters, Then man, Uber delay at Yedino, a delayman and say and a good performance. I want Pem, and I feel a sahili erectile dysfunction, and then Adeba premature ejaculation, and also a backwards so now Tayawa. What drew in Yobia, and the way your bar now we are Bama Watin Canon so former with the dilemma capsules and I know I never no Muka Fichayana problem dear and also more family when you dre and we are dilemma capsules and over to me a Boadre were German so numbers a 0248619999 after Bom Como a Imulit Haba supplement 10 year Kantanka Haba Pharmaceutical woman Daruma and woman I research at your Dreaba as about the new system no I am rampem and I say in the one day and so I would call Juma so of former. I dear be a dear one day a year co-form no, and no chance immune system I am rare. And on the Bema wa ball immunity supplement G. I'm an appeja one day moon Madiamau or bar or fail from Oma Kodanu for a crying in Fed to be a no phobia. And ye, wait me to be our baby at Tom Farmer, a drop baby at one draw gun habe piano, with your ball era farmer souvenir be, and some letting out or Tabian Rono, our drama sweat 3D Malay, and how I malaria had you be. Ebetima kawato form na ese ene wa awade awuro de won fawo ni nyina no 3D malaria asam na me kanti ade ana wunya tabia draba me sane bi na obo o eno anu no ebejiu ade afri mu tabia herbal capsules no sisiaria dro de twato tabia takum ememe dro ha tabia takum ni de bema so be so takum won pem na ye jiu di se wo bema mu a wa dro ni 0243686861 na one be na her pasco herbal capsules no enie her pasco liver juma na liver no doctors akatros embia se kra na embia enye ye biem ene ade amde momonto adrebi na mo man start enum bi mo se liver yi anwodem asate babre boy benya anwodem a sonko kra odi no yen kan che se problem abema bra starting enum bi na problem ama because aduane a ye di chemicals awomo ene fertilizers omo de ye masa and the problem na banjo ball liver no ho ban ene Pasco 0557453579 na wafre number abrawo pano dodo and so letting out on Natural Company Limited a Proslav capsules bema and that Johnson a problem kakra mo Johnson na bia kam utimi promo we still na di and so mo bia kam and afi obia ya na Johnson mu and so apai mienu baako ha north and afi south ni nyina no wonu Madrid Proslava and over true man capsules near recorrection and as your premature ejaculation what do near Congo ointment a genie deeper and we are Honamani Sam and Afenioma Aquaso Honamani na what do Congo ointment 0249017101 after what in Como Miram our Secoms Connect Limited Woman Daruma here too far at the Akonko phone cross na Asia and I said North America US of A Canada and our vessel ko ekwanya bie adwuma sam abie ewa monone mo amobeze mukosua de amonso mu die ekwa bie ama muntu tie me obi o driver anasem bia wono ensom aye obi a ye mesini we carpentani mo amoye electricians adwuma yi enso aba general nurses midwife for mo mra na afi mo so mo mbeji adwuma na afi mo nya na mo pe kakra mra fi na obetimi a contact your number WhatsApp number 0553 732982 WhatsApp ya na afi waje nchemu bia na nnuama kama me dimanfo Dr. Time da so Dr. Daruma say stroke and also osisi ane ya otaye mrempem bema when infections samana fo akakitua bi Dr. Sebra na on page anso fama no me dimanfo Dr. Time da so abu akwa Gogo School Junction mo akran so Dr. Opoku asemayera 0244774282 na for the doctor etim enkomo root Ruta enro no ewe adwama so Ruta no ye emu awodo miensa ye Ruta Mr Ruta Live ana afi ye Ruta Tonic na Ruta Live no eno ema moja de afrusan ye ewe nipadua mu nan ne won satae titiriti a wadrom ye Ruta Live ana afi eba no Ruta Mr eye malaria 3D adro eno so boa eno ebenshi ade afru na afi tonic no eye typhoid fever no so be kodrei ewe baby ato adro bia Ghana ha fana ba bia obenya bia to adrei enso nyaman koda wo mu enso ayanda 12 years ana zambia o ma koda no for oyo bawa fefunu a wonuma adro bia enye ye be bia to adro bia no obenya bia 0244 485632 na wadi unkomo Currency Ventures wasi adro no aye namu yare asemu bema enjo bema yo mane na wode nante a na wanante akofa asem aba gono watebi anasembia enam yare no wanya bia desera mission ni gi no ko pharmacy no pay to bi na fansuo no enum capsules na no ano no ebenji e de frozen man capsules no na man capsules yi asma mi kan eye meme dro bema pese ne awobo adwuma me ajutum za wo bema mu no wadro zero man capsules no ana bebo hindi herbal mixture enso ebo diabetes and after blood pressure and ebe cause 0246348334 na wadi nkomo enem anope na afenu ama kama etama seahorse otraku coolant ana me come for the ama seahorse otraku coolant no ana ebo ama car no de bi ama kaze car no eze ne bo no enye ize car engine brake here emza obeje ho gina pa na the woman say man time fansuo ordinary water enso emfa ngum eba ha dua brake engine no ope endia enso ade baguma and obeboa a sea hot otraku coolant eno ana beboa prevent engine no from say ne overheating enso beche car no anase bi ebe rusty anase ne say the engine no so be prolong in the life say the engine be chem adiama nyina no a sea hot and American for the amas ultra coolant and unya biano and so betimi aboa mo amutwi car trotro foi and after taxi drivers ne mo amusu private car ni nyina no esemu pebi na mo de simu car ma ya na eja onso wabu adiagum 055 0544 133169 na wedding common anope yakọ power specialist aba hospital and anope ya ma me doctor kosu adua ya ni na osemen kancho ya really doso na liver no tete hepatitis tete obi wonu ma fibroid edan yam ni na fui aye kese wo yo ba wa wonyem emeyeze eye flatomy ana mode gem ho samrani okroma na wonyem so no wafuso de oba live ha dwen panti kona ye mame emu adro we no ebe nane amanako entia no ahye no so madama me kidney no enso problem e wo ma bray na ye mo wadua ya heba malamesia malaria dro cough care heba mr ye wadro ana afa dua ya heba tonic nso wonuma to ntimi ne dunya bia eno nso ebeboa wakra kwabenya ACP road our power hospital bus stop Kumasi Feyase Bosomtwi road our dua ya junction mo water kwari ase worry konto our Anaji exchange 0244 544422 na wadin komo na high sense woman daroma no pain womana yedo omuremu amonane na omo se afinu munyina omo da asepa omo beto nuama eho home appliances manfo beto TV mo amo beto iron ana afa fridge ne air conditioner amodi kodi mujuma yada mase ewa kwanya ene mo nso mo ba ya munya ye na afidi omo se omo sesam krao womo upgrade omo services enti ultie me na no pay na wonya nkoto adem no high sense omo bie epono no ade ato fra no pay a yen showroom ewa Ghana ha fana ba bia obetimi abara na afi akwaje product 0302 550 000 now on the high sense MP4 upon Komo and I pay fancy D Maria. Right,
yeah, buy and question of the day so Amazu P help Balmesha any and infection at draws when you're gonorrhea, when you're syphilis. I a candidate and I say candidiasis I know and I have so buying so good off of Nenka if you move by when the angel so we have Bermansona and Sansa Gua say on say Bermano and why practicing our son who yakono until new council man Sansa Guna fee. I'm say Sufita be no bani adiana ha dwempa Dr. Muzo drone no and abejo ya kwamon on one darama question of the day. Yebusam sir, who is your team of the week? Our team of the week where me so be say or your boss any but I'm say man you for the omo ye ne de anu ohyepa wo couple
I don't share be anyway so Nana cast was say if not Manchester United team bay Nana cast message in Pedro was Chelsea na all voting for and any team of the week and what do and so about say Ricardo Quaresma from Abuakwa Chicago was Ruben Amorim Manchester United womo and Wakote ama womo and any message what they about don samadema when so Pinto Lama was early Real Madrid surviving club and what they mo kwesi way kwesi Platini and so was a Visca Barca I know Tono so diaba also Kwame and so Chelsea Leon and Benfica and work off for them and a day Franco Usus Arsenal team no and we voted for them Kweku the Prince was a none of them or no and so Madrid any Bar Benjamin as a Chelsea the Blues and work off for them way and so a message at Jonathan Spence at the Abba was it to be honest a Madrid fan by Chelsea and any team of the week and no the Abba Emmanuel Kofi Kumsen and some opting for Chelsea and a day at Dubis Max are watching the show live from Sahui Asanyo so Dantana Real Madrid and welcome for them thanks and no and so a day amene and pay fancy.
Wow, Emmanuel so real quick now for yemfa a stories no and so Emra we say Okodiama Barcelona no ayos kasam any accurate on them on so say Barcelona all the way and Zuzu Blancs and so say I Chelsea and any team of the week BM or say Man United and I someone first twos and someone so and so by the pride of London and so Joy Fraser and Bright as and so and just Chelsea and team of the week and Sparrow G and so choosy I Chelsea and the Samant and so say and so Blues and all call and so at the Amarintiano and so I don't know but to a say I'm a man for debate him.
Yes, and right.
Say last week, Yamomudi. Anna, me can last week, last 2 weeks. Omudi. Yeah. Anna last week, which is Enron so. Omudi 10 hours. Yeah. More day. Hey. Hey, cool. The next channel, young Quara could be out. Now we could be able to family. Send you easy sao. I'm a man for. Coach and Comra. Okay. 13 minutes after 10. Okay. Well, 65 hours in here, 10 hours, enough for more. BW38 486 B4F 65 hours BW38 488 633 and here 50 hours 50 hours I don't know BW38 486 FA6 22 hours and BW38 489 329 11 hours and BW38 487 608 and here 10 hours
jackpot no 10 year jackpot and we move jackpot no dey na hu oni hu se bi na atu yi 10 and 11 11 also nye 10 because 10.76 there. Running at 11 or so. Yeah. Didn't so green. Sure. And there's a 10 no me bonny jackpot. Ah, so 10 no me bonny jackpot. Aye. I was say 65 then there was a pebe 300 with it. Yeah. By 10 me nyane jackpot. Yeah, very necessary. Me hit 10. Oh, my kwada ba ko so if you're a Charles Nsia. Few I don't know. I was on a head of sports or Gift FM. Oh, okay. And then on also best starting in show. Gift FM. Hey, now baby, I see you at Taboku. Yeah. No, me history or Gift FM. So how could I gift pay? Because I know you're not Sakra. I'm in Nigerian sports crowd. Oh no, quite okay. I'm saying rap. You bad bro. me fa ka free me ko doma za o chere masu ni amasu sa fancy is
one film,
yes. Oh,
doma so mun see for.
Oh yeah, doma yo fancy.
Doma phone pono ne mpotem. Abono ne ahafo ne fa goso no de ba hwidie machire nsuwa ko aye mem bedi akon kasapen kan 15 junction.
Oh Gambia.
Oh Charlie,
the lemos we mo come.
Hey, maybe zanka me doko ko hon mam zanka. Anu shipa
100 keso. Zanka ko na oji asase ange.
Eh, but zanka me you come so mo oh. Father dey not to account no mo zanka oh me mistake come. Zanka me food do so pa. E jada there. Won't teach us. And the team of good luck. Good luck. I'm saying, one guy make 2010. How many years now? 16 years on.
Yeah.
None of father the never share me. Sabat. They can hear history. Okay, to him nipa American as so. And then a chance is when you move. Gift of him. Muhammad Kwadani yo. Hey,
gift to the domadi and you. Share. Obia confirm.
I come in kwa. DJ Disciple.
Oh yes.
Wow. And then Mondays. Nyame no tena so na exactly 1 year. I be far aye Wontumi adwuma nti. Me wan say 1 year na nie.
1 year na.
Ti asan see so fantastic Monday morning. When you say this year Mondays.
Oh yeah.
Bibia Nyankopon na
glory.
Fancy. Fancy, you're stubborn.
Oh,
sponsor there. No other fancy. Chairman. Fancy, you're strong.
Oh, yeah, that's so. You're begging in your time when share because now what's your night chikakra?
Abada be a meshamo. A human coso. Some share a year sports. I walk Ghana there. I can confidently confirm. Say. Aye Wontumi sports no ene na ye number 1 just say aye star BRB ana bode bo.
That's right.
Na atapuku baby o bia on samra so otomwa
baby bishop e wo bia
bishop wo bia on samra
adwuma sisi
on samra adwuma
na so on two car okay ti hwama me say bishop atika
atomwa ba na vini ekizizo akasa.
Oh nice.
Mene ekizizo akasa.
Okay.
Just adwuma no Wontumi sports ebegu so ayekese. Na be kese ya. Na ho anso no obi atie abrochire me wo ho ne ade ya yi nyina. Ahwa no obi a no etie mo ye kese mo ye tough. Eno ti no me be sori anopa na Wontumi me tie Wontumi sports a. Bibie no ha meye. What I say I one. Just a point nko antino anamaba ya lunch na so ye be have
oh chairman dey na so
chairman dey no wa class at so kuku di mo
chairman ono chairman say betunu ya tell you say because chairman dey na nye ana alert nam dey masa wa ya gani when they run the ticket ya on buffalo only ticket ya on buffalo masa chairman da so because them say time on come on start say course na no my ya kakra ba chairman we chairman wallahi
oh baba
I'm not na ta ko di mo emu de o de
for prerudo mo for prerudo
o de be ma say triple atabo ko de be siu ko chairman na me ya be ba so de na be ko me say there and some de more kotokomo de na ade nyina na nyoma e ko so Ghana league akwa bi na am person of this cabbage man na chairman league moye
I kotoko de minim say mamini kancha santeman na mencha santeman ura yura ye hene otumfo se tuwa ba bi asantokotoko hene a o ya santeman ura ne nkwaso odo ansoso na kotoko soso ye ne dia na sesia no enam MPP ntino aya ne duru ba bi na mame som no yasumu kwan bebre so ane ye de ye ba minim say mre bi beba kotoko chairman de medibi hey yeah minim say mre bi beba medibi
wow
yes na semi dinsu so a me de gaga yesem hey sikade patapa be the befum ama team no aba back said the na bra na Herbert Mensa was so ye you know Herbert was so ye you know sabre ni iswa asafo yehu bi enti meka ni nyina de abom de hyehye aka ho a what you say ba bi akotokobeko akodro no obia no behu no but said the Yesu catch Mary say memre nso ye no enu bi na ne me catch her say memre nso because adwuma bi e de be ma obia na wo say utime yere wo ho na utime ye na wo ye ni ye so e san say ye pese ye boa MPP na 2028 yes aba power ninti no enema bebre wo ho a menka na mom say me ba ye yidia I will be the first a friend say club chairman to say moro no cry bia metimi de na ba no aba be coach aye kotoko yes made the international coach and I'm the baba so me duro so antina meka say me de sheshe na gagai what you say na made the players akese a enso so a omo bobo te say Real Madrid mo any Man U mo Man City mo any Arsenal mo any Chelsea mo no so no ye di bin so beba aba befra na
the ugly for top players $4 million.
This is what we
3 million euros.
Sikana nya kokra na wo Ghana na wo the money nya ho na wo aya ha na wo aya Ghana ane ye wo what you say enti player bia obeba ye bia do ba ye a efia mama na tremu ni wa da bro kire kro ni bisa tremu oh eni no kire gwaja yes efia mama kasa mama ma tremu kasa mama ma tremu ye na bro kire kro nya bi yes
chairman so the guy ni ayesem
ya be ye kotoko ana patapa na sika ana sika so kan ayesem kan na my fair oh Charlie ha be say gig we make go asem no e be si wow be say gig maka no Wontumi ha be si e be si
oh chama
oh
kofi
but oh be say e be say e be sum ye urade asanteman
so da bi e ura ka say ni bibia no korokona da bia se e ma no tipaye but ska bia mo bia o pompirum so die bi
otie dia tie no say me a businessman also obia na ba otie say normally no odi animonyam kese na eba aye the sense kotoko no so so eburu individuals unti no se oba na so wanhwe ne ye pa wo kwa wanhwe ne ya na odi anu guase ekọ what you say abrebia enti ansana meba se meba begie no anwanwa juma no you nyame wo hoda se uji dia obeya juma ansa trenia no you nyame wo hoda se uji dia obeya juma ye bompaye shamaki Israel Yehuwa ilahenu Yehuwa ekat we ahata et Yehuwa Elohika bika luvika uvika naveshika uvika miyodika tode yashak in English in the name of Jesus amen
amen salam boy kapo say kapo chairman afena chairman baba me akwa
yes now I have the bibian so
go tama taboku kasa mo say messages and
ya de mo chairman ye chefo and now wa pa ye ntwumadi afan say Wontumi sports buffet ya de amte tenyina no and some ate ba wonum say major European Center sani ate Manchester Europe elkosono no pay no e wa bra wonya time e monitor tumedia ye fer sa Wontumi sports bite follow teni ade nyina no ye de ba na mom nyina echi onum sa ye be so ba the latest about Arsenal for any abdominal kasamaza sorry last minute omo we so metimi anya aye signing sibin some ade ababa sem nyina no ye de update tani de akane nyina no and some ababa na mom shoro de kemi akotana ye fer Carlos Alcaraz man sa korana
me say, well, 22 years, our brother, one of some other register here. Your father say, a career Grand Slam, no, just Aquano, one of Suliana, I want to subdom Kumatema, one of some other Australian Open, Ashan and Samano, Wabro Kobasan, public control say, one of my opponent, your father said about Djokovic and some other Ox Open, area sin and also as I about a major Grand Slam sling and a bueno, and some to be our kind of titles, and some other Bomoa, not just a Makuma, 7 and Alcatano, one of some register, report coming out as a watch and a ball, and ya brought Tavares Alcaraz and a fan watch and a mummy. Because Alcaraz and Metesa, when I near Fancy Daytona Cosmograph, I just a yellow gold, and on the Alcatana, your fans Alcaraz, and some other in you, and $140,000 dollars. Couple 22 years, I out trying to know what empire here. I'm so Bani to birthday now, Sukeki, and then Kobe from Crown Kawani Masa. I could not know what just 22 years and year, and $140,000 a watch and a team in Sour, no, and somebody do a year kind of a gamer, and also Abasna just also signed by a Genua when I 1,543,749 gain, and no, I just I'm sorry, 154 billion, and I amount to Quadano di Mia Wachi, a born in Saban Kumkaka, Quadaka Crimes, Machiba Media, or me one fast Ukraine, I just Alcaraz and Sunatra, I am Mason, Adeba Kunsa, Wabo Mia Wachi Tintin Yamarino, not just anything, and then Nabusia, and watch it Rafa Nadal, Almaturia Basa Wabra, Nadal Elko Way, and a better ear apparent, and some Ayama Spain, Wamusum Acunano, not just an Gunus Finaswaya, and some other bunches can be yet to be Mount Towers as Watrana Watia, yes, Alcaraz Santiano, and also I don't know from a Coronado, and also I also pay made a story banner your office, Lamtesa, or okay, Tiam Adana Renato, and Adana Baswatch, and Adana Jamasa, one call a shot and work one tomorrow the day. We also other call a shot, I was Saudi. Now, Adeba Kunasem. And Openo, Name Camus want to say, answer on public investment fund. I can say a PIFA, woman to talk play at the bar, woman to negotiate to bar, near the come out Nassar, near drama Al Ittihad, and I said, Roma Al Hilano, Ronaldo Regina Passas, I can say a treatment to the Bumo, and some papa, a jabby assay, what do you pass a day? I am Sanyaman and Shadanya Fanning on the side. One of us are not Benzema ball and some Adama Ittihad. We in a Futiad, I was a message and a Quakum Al Hilal, not just a Bibian Omwa, woman Abaswam League, as woman also, woman Maswam cement on a position, our top no, young Fabima, a Ronaldo and Chenta, Sankabia, Benzema Baso, Ebia Benzema Medoba, Al Nassar, Ahana, Esuday, and from Ittihad, or say, what's that Benzema, El Quakuma, a yet Chessa, Bobo Kraman say Hilal, and there I was on a contract to be any day, woman to me and can main Sintenie, one of Benzema and one from a Ittihad, WM or the Swoko, Wabaswoko say, yeah, the Quakuma Al Hilal, not just at Nino, Papa Payabi, and some Juma else on Nina Kakra, and some of you Ronaldo Soya, and some about Jimmy Bassa Samia Mana, and also Cosono, Yana Damaji, a yet some Jumadiano, and also Sanium and Tamsana Casai, one say and Comono, and some Nagusu Alcosiasha, Sabia Benzema agent to the Batia Bucket through, Nebula Mama Quay, Ama, just and a client, and some Ako Anasa say, and a Janus Conino, Yada some Amarita Sadiano, and some other Juma, Yada Amtet, Abashadak, Mamia Quatana Fonsa, Nico Williams, and some other Spain. Na Niconom. Answer, you okay somewhere last year, you discuss your casa, and Konami and Senana near Canasa Bautia, Emma Chessa, Korokofiso Krabai, Ebetre Moasa, Atena Basana, and Lemeto, and Montomba, Wontumi Ball, Ebia Mika, Wontumi Call Stretch, and Yate, Wunyana said Yosipana, Omia Sano, not Lamin Shamal, Franco Mastantuono, Anna Chessa Nico Williams, not shockingly, and Konami, Amara Kovaba, the third person, any way now so ebese no boy no on hye na nyane omaye na sem bi kro wonya time be ball kakra no ball na omayi na frum amanfo ai ana ni komadon baba fam ensom ani aya no ana na chese ha kwata no na report amenya say last week no make be extra say one three about say treatment any kind ankoye na omo consider all scenarios and sample all options SAB adachi bia na kwata no ensom betimi akwakwaya surgery na ya resabia no ho ensom abetono latest ebenano pen say Nico Williams abesa ko 6 to 8 weeks na just anya de 1 month 2 weeks alcohol 2 months and no a period ajame second say player you find say Nico Williams no one some abesa transfer Wontumi amabo almost say was say undergo another treatment no matter sanya bia no so fadi ana bia na kan say a surgery and some ababa so okoye surgery so dey chesa automatically woke up no on some betimi am say e wa bro no and some update and also about fema Nigeria ni akota no Adamola Lukman anopai yabeka say Lukman akọ control Spain timer van afan adere ko airport ama chesa Lukman control any na Lukman diano report amenya no sa Diego Simeone achesa akota no hia no pa wonim say now some come training and some basso and ano pay by report to mention can say manager for Simeone Diego one pushy omu training and so I quite today now just one so boy way in your time ebe training and ano person sa nyame adama yawada one ball ayokopa de final when you quarter final na quarter final game no one Real Betis elebo also Betis so one ha dwempa as Anthony nom and some other chase yeah some kwadana is azuli nom womo adwempa tire menya no sa manager no abesa player your father say Lukman aya training and na serebea nyame anu ma ya wada omo game omo bonu nyina no wono som aba ready and am sa game no Real Madrid enra womo som anya 2-1 last minute and Mbappe wono so the penalty atum na no pay yere update no mo aba and Monday report amenya no say na aya off day ema team no nyame anu tena anso say off day ema team no na just Wednesday and a report amenya no say womo so training session ebe koso na dintia Wednesday and a Madrid ebe resume and say anso Barcelona ebe bo Albacete and ya cup game ebe koso Albacete foi womo so and ya Madrid aye city ema just say game mo boy ni na no womo so na from what na Barca for no to say midweek I will have cup games na Madrid wo so midweek bi abodia I was some more boys no and some ebe resume ya day update and no some ni na no and some amana reporter me say can say and some other say answer me can say we can do game against Valencia no sir Vinicius Junior suspended and no accumulation of yellow cards not just a Vinicius MOB yes Rodrigo betimi akọ benkum so na makwa ya juan our left side I'm a Madrid our bra one some and Valencia for game no and other kosu nyame ya duma and weekend and some other say Jude Bellingham me betu kasa Bellingham no and some akwa so obi a walk 1 month now 1 month a player you fan say aye Jude and some akwa no no report am say can say ayariya sa ombema ebia Valverde abameto na fe Valverde ababe shani e kan sa eyen finfin som ade amatim no esanse Valverde amamedela eno som aba game practice ofa no say Prana boys no som Prana Jude na kasa kra no mo na so dribble wo bi ya baba start game wo tin kasa sam online no o problem ewom wo unu assistant na obabo ama chese ode ko boy no ene ko fa sem nyina de boy a wo Pass ama Jude hamstring and also akan one up no make us on me say by 6 matches and no I just update and also on my way and some banana peno I was sure so report am say can say Alvaro Barra and more behind na dwe sir Real Madrid area jumano abamano sasebia permanent onkosuna when a substantive coach am Madrid ya be can be say am say sir akobase bi obo jumano ye dia jumano wɔn nso ɛde bɛma no bat deminya no nano pɛni deɛ ba no deɛ bibi asesa deɛ abɔ no wɔn bɔ hyɛ sɛ duro bi a plus wɔn a na ɛbɔ deɛ adeɛ bat sɛ bi abɛka safo abɔlwa nso ɛbɛtoa so akɔsi sɛ bi a yɛbɛwie season na mpo yɛasa toa so bi no report a mensa ka no sɛ manager no ɛnya no sɛ yɛ dan a Madrid nyame yare ma sama wɔn nso ɛde coach ɛbɛba ɛsan sɛ wɔn fu sɛ onua ɛmfi susa ɛnya deɛ sɛ adwuma no wɔn nso ɛbɛtumi abɔ a yɛ dan ne update no nyinaa no nso ɛma ɛnano pɛi nso ɛwɔ show no so okay referee no a yɛfa no Jesus Del Manzano ɔno na wɔkɔdi Real Sociedad ɛne Barcelona game ɛma wɔn sɛ Barca hyɛ goal na Lamine Yamal ɛna ntini na ayɛ 2 centimeters outside. Now the moment I two about the side there be more than 1 year no. Na some a dozen to 19 no. I 2 centimeters I just still now way off. And no na say Jamina say referee no wɔn sɛ nya no kwakwa match na nkasa yɛ dum kɔmɔ no wɔhwie yɛ paa ɛne sɛ ne wɔhwie yɛ de akwan bia so sɛ wɔn nso atwe na so ɛwɔ so wɔn twe na so deɛ a report a mensa ka no sɛ Del Manzano ɛbɛkɔ off weekend yi mete sɛ matches ɛbɛkɔ so no ɛnyɛ sɛ referee Jesus Del Manzano ɛnso ɛbɛnya match ɛdi mete sɛ referee no nso ɛbɛkɔ nkyɛn ɛno ɛyɛ punishment a wɔn de mesa so wɔn fu sɛ game against Sociedad no na chesa ref amatompo ensom awo fam ebiam no and Barcelona training session abeko so awo Ciutat Esportiva Juan Gampa na meno kasam se training crown ashase ansa a chesa kwara no tetroma pomni adana wo mu wi aba 1 o'clock anom local time it was Spain manager Franz Flick the press conference ababa so on Albacete and abana couple demi magenesa sa watching pa Albacete so Barcelona no mo shaku mo you from the say be abaza for no mutu free asase so because akoya mode Madrid for no force pass ai ana Albacete wo Madrid sete ai sijania brantie Madrid for ne ball aya ka e say the we say time mo enkoda basa na said you na Madrid support said obu kokrobati kwatim from no na adikikiri basa bona bi agokipa yi na la chasa when the batch nom Rashford nom womo bona bi agokipa bate na bi ado po agon baku bi pa tomwa de dize bia mo probably for sana de no sa kwantimo no ka say no sabia Madrid support the ne abran masanya de ketwa kra na taminyam say Mark Bernal on basa ben obo 6 no na kwada we ha nanka obepie kama pa we ba kaya okonya ACL hey be some 2-3 seasons ago boy no na pradia am say obompa no unsayi yade ne sign ne ade prana ma kwada no asani di era by now no won sem oye Sergio Busquets na obo eye benkuma naturally left footed emu Sergio Busquets eno no ball pa de minya no say kwada no nyame yaro mo tena wonom aba start manager no ebe rotation a chesane nyina ne kakra eno som from aba Mark Bernal ade ensom eno no na report am say kano ensom no say Family Lopez yes Barca for no say wo da coach asepa na Family Lopez dintro model coach ase and say okay sama no eka kete nanka Chelsea for no fa kwada ready na ko na sometime Enzo Maresca eye do betimi bia wo konvensi akwada no kwa real last minute boy no etu ka besi wura aye ne kan say Ciutat Esportiva ho ana ma kwada na dress say na Barca for no fusa adwuma no nyina no ayanse Flick ensom ana ye na wo mo na se bia o mo ma aye coach because bonus say Family Lopez abono one time manatio nanimu konko azle amatompo odi goals account what defend e ba support e linki apani ade amaches akora no ball no am say I improve exponentially no some ayaba so ba wo mo de man kwada no ma no kase no e bi so ko e dia ma coach ya fan say no some ayanse Flick na no pay no ay update ba Arsenal e league no and as some communities every week every fresh week day according to Opta one super computer eba Champions League Chelsea Arsenal eba na mama Premier League as of and ye kase na enso aye Chelsea February 1 enye February 2 and some NT as of a 1st February and you ball I matches now double canning on and I can say Arsenal and Premier League Committee Barcelona one some other Genebia City for Atosu and Aston Villa because what pushy Manu because why Chelsea Fono and some everybody so out of phenomenal say where you predicted a final league position I can say and some I updated about something yet every also a table now. One more number 1, 2, 3, San Amico was 10. And the chances Arsenal ever place 1 and as a first. And I saw a Yakasia pa. And I said chances are also the Arsenal. Wontumi G League now. I'm not assuming and no I 7.3 and as 73. Now I wanted them say our from Kakra. I told you said number 1 and Arsenal I want to and some Arsenal now update and some any kind of told him say one more could have found some Mikel Marino or no and some call bad what about surgery now or your surgery or chapa now and now you can say Arsenal a moment for us Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Nolgard, Eberechi Eze, Anakai Havertz, but Nukrenya Mianimnie. Adiana, Mikel Merino, and Arsenal. Some for the Sammy Boti, Capomi who player. We bet to the because on a year so. We born 9, Emma Arsenal, let's go. And John also bought 2 goals earlier. Nano Bisasa, a woman, Ebi Abeka Havertz, on the bet to me a ball. Now, I just no bra, say be a better tea as a money at all. Woman shall don't prove to buy no car or quality of a hundred pa. Now, also the Arsenal almost quite in the city. And now, Pamano Casson, sir, and Commodia cost because almost say, Sir Uzi, I am Mikel Merino, and you can say, which I am our dampai. Now, Arsenal, Koya, woman cope Ebia youngster, woman copa, Quadaso, Brana, Ebesham Kakadabi, woman at Chelsea, woman from Sandro Tonali, Meno Casai, Newcastle, a boy now, your fellow Sandro Tonali, say, Newcastle for say. Time now can you too short. No be in your bowling now your winter January and they are by 7 o'clock and I transfer market closely. What about Tonalia Konaway and about Freedom Newcastle Timino? Yes, Newcastle for the book full Amademinian say. What was the sanitary and £100 million dead. And nobody no could about 75 million euros of fano a feature a similar hand. Tonal Genesis say report coming Newcastle say or you're worth £100 million. What about trying out this kind of banana? What about Bano Crano? What was some other so much as and your simple sa as a time no and some very short our no update that may say can Dominion say one agent no yes it was gusu pushing on and your push get crowd to now agent crano Matocracy one so do lantern and some gusu push said about the client to bet me joining Arsenal why and a Arsenal on pay 1 January summer 1 o'clock for the pound for and I said the agent and some gusu piano yet the update and the carrying and some at the what kind of Ruben Neves our born ball and some Al Hilal our Saudi Arabia Taman Wolves over Cassia link about 1 or twice a call Arsenal Meno Cassia Nano Peno Ruben Neves Arabian time our Wolves now Mikel Arteta and some Ayadanapa report Aminian so one of so monitor Serie General and some Nabasiako and 1 Man City what go on the consider I'm saying and then I am pa Dominic Solanke General wa bo Magay and 93 medical come kasa gay yasha on go later I'm kwachi go to ma Solanke we dey born here pa and up make sure say top gajola say a defender and a be a Magay mom and a boss Solanke 93 and Karofi beje penalty Argentina striker there one butu a player 19 Emma on mom 9 combo now kotona trim dia wo just go it was Tottenham first goal now one cast watch them baby I wash and answer baby I will tell but you know when say Rodri and some blast our post match Shadrack Mama Rodri the post match and just Odin Commoner. Rodri ni had to bomb pa. Rodri say ono oyobi a ontan kasa fa referee se ho ano no so kra no on can referee asem esan say our respect adama adwuma referees but obi so kan nyina say ayam yenum ayam yensa the last best 2-3 matches Man City abori nyina no as will be person Man City as from the Premier League title no also tiase titles the OMGP woman judge trophies ni pina but boni nyina ya ba adi ntira juba bia mombasa magana kra ensom abaya juma the best one kan nyina say referees enye neutral na munyai sasa mu diade ensom ade ko ba bi fa ko na basa na enye fair o kasa pa yentie Rodri on Sunday we consider first goal
win, but the referee has to be neutral. I don't know how I feel, honestly. Now I see the images in the pitch of goal, you cannot see. There's a clear foul in the first action of the goal. It's a clear foul, and VAR is for a reason. And these small details make the difference. We're trying to do our best. It's the first goal they score, maybe they don't score a goal, we win the game. It's one game and another game and another game. And it's not possible. And honestly, I never speak about referees. I respect their job massively, but they have to pay attention to these things. He kicked the leg, it's so clear. It's so clear. He anticipated the leg of Mark, and it's a clear foul. But it's not today, it's just 2-3 games in a row, and I don't know why, honestly. I know we won too much and the people they don't want us to win, but the referee has to be neutral. And for me, honestly, it's not fair. It's not fair because we work so hard in these situations now to make these decisions that you have to move on, of course, but you need to come back. But at the end, when everything is finished, you are frustrated because it's so clear the foul. He kicked the leg, and then as of course with the push of the action and the ball see, we have to pay attention to these little things. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for everyone because this league is like this. It's about small details and everything counts. So I think today is a very tough day for us in this sense.
As you say, everything does count.
Rodri edituja na chesemu dawebia woka bekasa na ono kra kasana wenya one decision pema so sili kweno about small details, the little details accountable because ye kana sankebia enra referee found rule out aye Solanke first goal na and Man City edit 2-1 victory and a free aye Tottenham eba enra back to Manchester but ama Arsenal asatrim ama Manchester three basa little details ni na no and some accountable na mama the manager you find a pub controller because pub say already the best one can in so Premier League in still now 14 matches to go now Sahano in Central back on Central Bizarre Etisano Muji Matension at the free Premier League in so now more focus on other titles over so say Premier League ni here so there be and just Sana me best match no say over so say na baby Premier no massa was 14 games to go no say be a chance our home quadia any hope and some our say chance our say be a Man City about me people Arsenal and you hope our say City and some about me Yentia Pep and a journalist no
still not out of the title race, but given the demands of the season and the injuries you've had, might there come a time this season when you may have to prioritise the other competitions and accept that you may not get there in the Premier League?
So you are saying me that we get rid of Premier League?
Well, I'm just saying if it may be a point where you might...
With 14 games to play?
Pardon?
With 14 games to play?
I'm not saying you will. You had all the injuries is what I'm saying. That you we
had the injuries. So in the moment, 1 month ago we have a lot. So with 9-10 players out. So we know that. But at the same time we are there and continue. I know the calendar is what it is, and now we have a semi-final to reach a final next Wednesday, and after Anfield, and continue. This is what they have to do.
You're still.
And I can manager no now just say pep and some no my chef for and I pay live on the show now just and we can flow at Liverpool to run sir report to me and say Brahima Konate Obakaya last week we had about 2 drama make control sir Konate Ayobiam sir and ne papa adan in Sabin Kunso Wakaba Duato na Konate na just I was semi consumer party yana had dream papa sen ko make a cocoa umra just ko bompa ni biani Konate enso baba be share go weekend atwami na chese Konate ye emotional wo share go Liverpool players see wo bia akobam no goalkeeper Alisson Becker wo nyina akobam eye Konate na chese wo su na chese wa get emotional pa sikadie ebi wo ho but do say ebia no meti say yes sikani ntime nyam kwano eno na problem tin kaka sikadie kabia nkabapa no anko but na ye kese ne bapa no ntiase bi ma akoda no emsa chese oni agya ha dwempa na odona Liverpool for no dan di atro no eno ana ma coach afan sa Hans Flick ensom akambie na chese Jeremy from Pornum aye squad dem na omunyina atro by no dono ye betie ensom coach afan sa ana slot ensom arituka edefa aye Ibrahim Konate eho ewa abrakoba sa nyoma renyina to no no de aba be jira match mna wasade ashego yenti ana slot
waiting for the last two to come in. And then when he came in, of course, everybody was cheering for the both of them, but definitely also for Ibu. Because it's very nice for him to score a goal when he is in such a difficult time. And I think this team has shown that we are always there for each other in difficult circumstances, and that's what they were for him in the last few days, and that's why I think they were so happy for him that he was able to score, which was told to me, but I'm not sure if I'm lying, but his first goal at Anfield since he's here. That's what people told me, but I don't know if that's true.
Free manager slot and so swear the ban after sir Yareba to Canano Pesa Jeremy Jacques says woman born every now said the Chelsea for the year say and can omobe Jama Quadano Mutonia no one summer born up Bolon and so Adiama Rene and so our France and one Liverpool for 99 power sir in America no so about the mingling on some Americano and Trump and for say young one option and some our bench and into Babia more Liverpool slot and was and was spent 450 million pounds and a basic day a day and I just say well you only are getting on Obama Yasuni are saying the bench and Shana rich and I'm not say apart from Bowie Liverpool following a signing Ebioma one some other and Sana transfer market and some close the Amasadia woman push it in our society according to Yatuma and no I just summon Manchester United and Massa said your faggy time as a bow you can't faggy time as our time no Michael Carrick na man na no mo ba anya ya bodro ba say no soon e to mani e perfect time no na eno Benjamin Sesko e ma man United for no mo amwanhele hu fagi time no mo bi Ferguson hwe ne watch na promotion no ago na bai a chese disuano no na enema koso no ensom Old Trafford ana chese said them say asampa man for no so mo go celebration no aye Mateus Cunha edia no na Sherlock Mami Cunha celebration is oyepe na chasa ma dialo nom ene chasa brand bemo nom amosom ababashira se no na kona man for form hey Michael Carrick share Man City share Arsenal and some abesha Fulham 3 games in a row chasa olusu bi kra na amadialo se Oba Carrington abesha training na abrantia fanasa Sesko eya chasa wasafata se bibia tesa etona enwa so no ene shewin go ama Manchester team no ento mu nyina abara baso na manager fan say Michael Carrick you say woman just feeling being wo Enra time as United enya winning goal Fulham for the take camera to up 90 plus 4 and a Sesko Kela and find it akurum Manchester Enra woman you to them as mon points now they carry calling another woman team and no domodie will be on country be also by qualified Champions League and will be on country be also Premier League title no one other swatch was say more fun game after game more ball no more push wins makuma kumiensa woman record no woman some abesanya more e dia to aso mom also really comfortably because enwa am so mo chiro mo kakanto ha se ba bia ankoye ni o manya ni nyina no woman some abetime ne kama eno abema comfortable wins and so apa ayasuma interim coach no we for the Carrick and some other tuka but Jaminian sa transfer market no meto se man for nya ready say woman Carrick be business bia se bio ya kofa we e dia break Carrick ya koto we and some other bani ateno meto se sɛ nyade sɛ bi because no mpo de menya kwa no sɛ man for try last minute sanka Jeremy Jacquet wɔn so aba hijack Liverpool photo no na mom yɛse akora no yɛsɛ nyade sɛ bɛyɛ adwuma san so ɔno ankasa no na wa choose Liverpool ano ensom aye kakra free mo and eba Chelsea for come back no wonu sɛ sɛ wo hwɛ match no bia full staff ɔmo play be stadium ho ama Chelsea Drew abi kra no trouble chalo ba ne fan ba ko enyai na ɔmo busa yam Rosinia ɛsɛ wo tese na ɔmo bom tutuo half time ana so what pa na supporters ni di sɛ ɔmo bom tutuo because first half no dia no kwanya me ni mie nanyo Barcelona so respond second half no and I job kwa na ni gie pa to giri ba sa second half na supporters na modempo no and some abasoro na ni age yenti Chelsea coach Liam Rosinia awon wan kasa jatum say wo modempo first half na nya kra Chelsea coach ekasai
magnificent in the second half. I could sense after 2 minutes of the second half they were with us. They were right to boo. I would have booed us in the first half. Our performance was nowhere near the level it needed to be in terms of collectively, in terms of our energy and our decision making. That's fair. So to see them after the game 45 minutes later so happy and delighted with what they saw from the team makes me very proud. I said to the players at half time, we can make what probably is the worst feeling of the season the best feeling of the season, and I think they went magnificently magnificent in the second half. I could sense after 2 minutes of the second.
So Sharon Mame Napoli fono Giovanni Di Lorenzo eyobia wo pride na Napoli fono dem say afilo na crutches ehye na motoma no probably drew just Villa Stewart eho and oba be try medical consultation a wo kwakọ ho no kwatim say already waboto and Napoli sees obia na nkom that top o ma ba from kakra na so na pra na boys in April just ha dwempa na wonim sa Inter Milan for game enwa womo ko ba o Cremona womo ko hwe Cremonense by 2-0 say your two supporters no fire no monte Shabak mami see na you say firefighters womo ko akofa aye firecrackers e dey free aye pitch no so wonim sa couple dey menya no sa yes momo pyrotechnics and firecrackers e ma stadium na chinchina de baba na de baba wonim sa metisen no e wo Cremona ba ko supporter ba ko kitagye mu a na tutai yesene santiam ye no atia fi so into over stadium now fingers near intact men find ye man stadium me de baba was ade kura jamway we rekitama churches won say be knockout to me na wanya ama jamenya no na pon say tutai ade just one say ne sam ye no yesene fingers be me no me say be akwadam say wo bo sem afi so our bra no aye firecracker explode our nsem na akwa fa aya trenchment say and some adiaba mari card crowd here wo say after Galatasaray game on show penalty last minute our game mo no am so cry aya Galatasaray wo supporters anopen be kai say Juve e so mo fa report am say kan say Luciano Spalletti wo mo game we ya Luciano say we don't want Icardi na so on pay Icardi omo mi anu so time e wo Inter Milan onum say wo mo ya ka o wo mo ya ka che na didn't make us from my catch and a dirty back ako 2019 and about one naira okay so time na my card wife no or one sign agent to total bomb and some about pitch no so can carry up bia but come choose see and so baniki can sembia anya coach at the Bama so ntimi anka and supporting coach and when coach enter me basana omo be to gasa nansen no mo shall say din komo and so more party wo differences Jamaican say coach no aku kan pay so on pay card but yenim say be still na be ma do no abaso and say e ma so be come no ka say no and yan kore be fa card dey we per Randall Kolo Muani wono and o be a Jamaican kan so coach no still na e be sam adono enso eba and no aye kakra frimo e ba nche go so monitor say ade no e be sia ko already crowd here na nkomo fa card until 2027 €5 million a season as one coach na oya adwuma no sem on boy no enum update frimo ade banana pe e wo shodo so no nti Jure for say Alexander Soloff e obi obodo ma Atletico Madrid amba so mo tele ba me no ka say no wonim say Adamola Lukman abantina ebia soul of ombetwe agane kwan amono ensom akọ Kenan shoulders eco pry and ana scan eba kwaso ba mete sa midweek omu game against Atalanta no Kenan shoulders ensom ebe out eba brand no eye kakra free omaso ye and eba okay Brian Zaragoza no ball ewe La Liga na bamu chefo to no de Barca Lonino ema no Celta Vigo ni adema no kasai Brian Zaragoza enye wo be join AS Roma na onimbo no bopa okay wo je Barca ho dwuma bi mrabi ana ban for diam ikakoto ban ne ba mo toro no emso mo hu ne sa ba bon de onimbo pa Roma for no e fa no enano passe de be ono enso aba join na ba mo chimpan for no report am say kan sa wo mo ye luzi ayeche so mo patience abotro manya no na tayo promeka no won ko na wo ye player bai enene mesan wo kira na maba adetia ne yaka ade asame dynamic dimin sa da aduanim o mi wiame sa na omususu se ebi akwadano anya Real Madrid wo beko on se David Alaba no ani Alfonso Davies no ono so beso wa ne diam sa bia no mutiri pasa ayo pemekano abeso intinam no kasai on so makacho so mama no ayo deadline ekose middle of February na yese ba mo chimpan for them say omo boy ye fukra sa akwara ne dance omo sai no ayo kakre fu on so ne banana pay no e wo so no so ye yemfansina ye makwama bidwafo no mana afi ye nto aso e this ayo Wontumi Sports Buffet Facebook Wontumi TV new Facebook page a virgin page for cry and run sell file phone album see amount a QR code bottom right corner na say what camera na so said over so picture no the chance I bet you know na link amount na be a friend
na me adum ya na so
already adum ka
we are back after a long weekend
so that's right
yes right. I think for Friday Saturday o ma hu here
to me
someone in but we are back from a long weekend. Then back to serve you.
The trooper. New song here.
Yeah, boko baby I boko pa.
Okay. Mate, you dey ready say. Amoho ye dey ase ne.
So here.
Oh, bende. Na meti ase.
Na ho ye why say.
I say mama is it man from there. Don't go there. Almost reminisce as a faggy time no. Oh, adwuma de carry ye bi. Faggy time ko do no in America.
Okay, so
Ferguson hwe ne wristwatch ni say ya. Ye be hwe no. O yan inside say no pejja ko so say na say o be consider go.
Ehura ba so body e. O di juwa.
When you jam support, no creme boy faggy time. No time I should school winning goal. When was the last time Old Trafford?
I say Europa League game omu yebi.
That one I'm Europa this season.
Oh, that be last season. This season they say
90 plus.
Oh, na say Amada Kotiba could be Nottingham.
Mr. Old Trafford Fergie time. Mufio one.
It's Old Trafford on one who here. Old Trafford on one. Who was our
coach in one day? He was part of Saab Fergie time. No.
He was.
New York.
Yeah. How Michael Carrick started in a life at Manchester United? No, may I sure say every United fan be any how an Michael getting the free points against Fulham, and of course getting the free goals so positive. Eddie Michael Carrick, I've been saying he's working around the basics. Now basics in the say basics in the open say
o complicate ho a na wo ye o person man yema eyengo na yema wo a na wo ye na after game no na central for ni did in come say there's no better feeling say oba win game no very late Old Trafford apart from so casa no so and say we are not looking very far ahead me emphasize on nsem because nsem na wo ka ho asem no ma wo so utimi analyze the wadwene eyi one a coach or person otutu ni 90 said ye call each and every game be our de edeba so yes o ma hwe ya hwe die me ye sure say the next 3 games he is not talking about the next 3 games or say the next 10 games crano he is not really looking far ahead of time but I will share the immediate presence I did done anymore and a person will deal with and I can say I am very, very good at the Manchester United. Now, hope say, obetimi a more better performance. Looking very through the game now. Adia mi who say, goalkeeper na moko fane ba Arsenal Lamens no. He is probably the best replacement for Onana. The calmness, flexibility, the anticipation of the risk. I was so much. Ball free kick bi o yi no hu no matter what. After behind the wall, no, there are many blocks. So goalkeeper be akoba train for the second ball. But on the team, no reaction. He was solely relying on the first ball and on the ball. No, receive from no. I never come in who game no say I saw a manager who really wants to get the best out of every little individual and to stick very close to just the basics. Basics in say Casemiro boy or boy and your friend ambassador row from what he has achieved with. Obo jina 2 midfielders achi wabobro swaya oni obi for elbow na ba ko protect no and still any a free man midfielder no Casemiro as an individual obo 2-man midfielder o man adwuma no ye kese dodo etwani modo jini cruise and abosa but oba Manchester okofa Ugati kan ho ana kofa Bruno kan na the attack afufuro be na attack and drop him ma na chese adwuma ko akojina Bruno and Casemiro no so ti Bruno nya kope counter be bia no adi so could be menu partnering Casemiro no ama a bit of control about the double pivot 1 pivot 2 area hopa na minka enkan for Casemiro be brisa ade ba kwa me ya no say afa na wo United no so yie afa na wo say wanya leadership role bi ade be chiro me nsem ya na me bo me mokra no a you know me very much important for this game so players are omo age no kwa ni omo ya matured enya sa mentality no ya wo ye coach eboa wo ana ono nso ebo akoi Emia pa but Emia he go no baby ogina ya o assist go no Shadrack Mfamra na menka go no asem look Patrick Dogu area hono no coach ne de Kunya na koboye so in converting from 4-2-3-1 no oko 4-3-3 na chese obenya Kunya obenya Mbuamu enya obenya Ahmad Freeman attack no na me for try no waba obenya Kobe Menu Casemiro and a Bruno Fernandes but up as I convert it on the board yeah not just what Jai Bruno say onko no ni no support to attack and this 4-man attack no yaw Kunya she Mbuamu she Ahmad she and a Bruno so she 4-man attack so goal distribution a wide she pass no be pass it to on for be look Shadia Kakribi mami hold it here for me this is not Casemiro's natural habitat na say onidi maha da bi enye natural habitat ni sabre no omo a wona nim no kwa gya omo kwan mo ko o hwe Casemiro achi a enipa tu na hwa white gina achi omo ye fuanfo na achi on say Maguire aba be gina ho naturally ba bia Maguire gina ho na Casemiro so Modric ni cruiser ho na no gina. But in this case, he has the license and the freedom to go. And then a partner, general in champion, only son a partner game no Kobe Menu. Yeah, Menu. On the journey, on the one man. And that high advanced zone, yeah. I'm telling you, as a player, it me and vision could do on one. Or you play an junior game because when you say no risking in the chisa. But number 2, should I be on the water two, you know, or the man Kunya, any percentage Kunya chain. Or is sandwiched between 4 players and that is it. And Kunya the one at 2 year. Easy pass, baby, look sure, bano. Kunya chi. sorry Casemiro chi we referee jano wo hwe referee chi a sure na eba no etiko gye ya no atane ahwase ha na kware ato ansana cross later number, but he really sent that ball into the box for Cunha, and Cunha is flanked by Lipa 4. Watch that. Yeah, watch that. Hey, so a
splitting pass,
more explicit splitted pass, a fini pass in a home, and a sasu defense in Pepe continue just one touch. Everything I should go up. So one touch it. Let's watch the sequence of this pass. So Casemiro will grow when you need. And these are all the bases. Allow them no more room with me abo. Na share, na faka crack. I mean, yeah, watch that go. The angle, the shot, everything so precise. Asani niye.
Is it the answer we now go? My you was and say this trending.
It was good. And Orieno also connected Bruno Fernandes header back on the other far end. This is Manchester United, and I feel say Michael Carrick uncomplicated Niema Kakrano Wahunu what from far from distance. Wahu say and Kamina Mayaka win Maya and look at that thumping header and come to me and Shakrano now Harry Maguire so what you hope I was watching yow and come here you know. But be the most beautiful department for Manchester currently. I have 4 and 5 for me. Maguire and Martinez.
Yeah, because I'm not who say maybe ball Lisandro Martinez about so pen indeed ball in the or ball.
Also Maguire right footed and away left footed. On be a central defenders are you can't just go past by them with ease. Maguire only shake crown or the hover kick count. Apart from the other ball board, no new or yeah, it's really funny.
Picture with a legendary picture.
It's only Martinez and I'm conform home. Oh, say mistakes to be when you full internationals and more a guide. I really wish that Michael Carrick with me a push the call a tough phone proper no fight right now. Said all kind and one more. No, my dear, be me who me say a body vision too. Not men crop for the shigua. It will be an enemy semi celebrating because me play now who I celebrated go na be a behano. But emotionally, I don't personally self control. Because I demand for more. What's that now? Michael Carrick celebrate go to be none of the goals. Imagine you see Lionel Scaloni, Argentina for coach no kai, including the penalty. Say I. Mudu mu yebe jeni, ba mu yie dia Benjamin.
Have very now the enemy.
Mo. Ya na pan yebe na san coaches na mo bo. Go na to obi agina Michael Carrick on kwa opa goals no toneta camera ne panic koto so am famra on kwa no gina ho. I'm not moody. Emotionally we're very stable. Your poor boy no ko share kukuma. He's working. You find a gradual process, not steadily. You show how the Manchester United beko. Away from that game, the Pep Guardiola and Rodri and come on after game Rodri say on your one can referee asem but obia pese omu faili waka. When you say that, to person say what dwene mu no, sa na obi dwene fa wo ho. Obia pese yedi nkuguo, sa na Morocco for no kra dwene. Rodri say on can referee for some. Pep Guardiola asem no na bibi kakra wo. Pep say they are hoping say chance. People babedaho. Chance e ade ni wo nsam. You only prepare and hope say beba, but as to when it comes around, chance no time beba. And you wo. And twin the person che. Opposite say he's not in control of the league. But then Arsenal no more control no so what should dia. Yen ka say pudu nche. Parce que pudu nche you did jo. So ni pudu. Ye ma me mo do afuo ne bayire no mo de bayire hihye nkofie no na hia. Ya no mo mpese bayire ni hie o ba ganya hie bayire ne dia ya wunya afurofuro ha no yi bayire no na wudi. Pep Guardiola o mo mpaye nti a Mikel Arteta ne Arsenal but what should dia. One, looking through the lineup na dia misua ne say. Enyema mi ensana na lineup we say eyema Pep Guardiola. The current 4-1-4-1 no yaw enyema mi ensana eyema Pep Guardiola. And one, it gets the best out of many of the best performers. 4-1-4-1 no. Rodri the jump backline and him as the lone anchor no. Attacking 4 no. Obenya a role for Ryan Cherki. Phil Foden Bababo. Only one Silva Bebo. 2 of the interiors or more inside as creators and goal scorers. Out wide, Obenya Semenyo and then Doku out wide. Now Doku ni no and exceptionally we different from Itinerary and Rona or Baba Boy, you know. But 4-1-4-1, coach in the show say we are no person maintaining. And of course, there's also a bigger room for Harlander or the leader of the attack. 4-1-4-1. Every area of the field no a cover the best place. 2. Yeah, no cover so what GDB said the standard 4-4-2 no a cover many areas of the field. But in my opinion, this 4-1-4-1 from Pep Guardiola a cover a lot of tactical surfaces. Nemum Adia Edi Nyan say he has one of the good goalkeepers on the continent of Europe right now in Gigi Donnarumma. But backline Benny protecting him. Man Gwei ban anu ye no oni akra ne partner in Husanov ne Magwei. New faces, new partnership, new understanding, no rhythm, no chemistry. There's no telepathy. How do you want them to function at the highest level now? No Pep Guardiola didn't team no kwakudu no. Because that job no Josco Valdiol na Ruben Diaz na John Stones na yaw omoye nsa nyina ni hormo. So Man City right now the team no se basa team ni papa animu ne yawo. But the two no we go keep us in China. Backline ankasa and boost a lot of confidence. Husanov, yaw, no, trust me. What bet me the league as a supporter, but as a main man, everyday performance. No, onto me from out. Come on, go home. Now, O'Reilly and a ball back. No. This backline will be protected. Did that? She counter at 2. Watch this situation. And you say about the defense in the outside. You see a defense that's so much devoid of control, authoritative member be near because that way chaso Gigi na yedwuma nko. So in my opinion, Pep has one of the best attacks. Semenyo share Haaland share Doku de kakra support Silva Foden, all of them run shaky. But yow adwuma no 4 and 5 for no so mko ye hodwuma. The same problem Barcelona I won't be a. Anim where sharp.
No, some problem feel say aside from what you need now, referees not being fair because Pep feel say acquire the reverse ABR situation say guy in mum ball so long 19 ke penalty so I didn't strike and mum ball center back and an HDR and your foul. Oh, say, yeah, I'm in person, nobody referee home come me dwele to say coach. I am in person, referee. I said, okay, what's a many referee for Nanya? I'm a dwele to say Bias and Truni. Me, a coach, I mean, because I could show more. But when Ross had a good year, then as a journalist, I need to speak to the truth and talk about it. But the tennis coaches, you benefit from officiating. So, because I can once you are not doing yourself when you're holding good. Oh, Man City, omunya officiating who advantage biya. Omutim no soro ye no, omutim no ba soro. When you are performing, officiating you maybe come out naturally. When your team is struggling and you are booty out, sana owobonum. Ma roju mekasa asem no. There is no empathy from anywhere. Mimi humo bro the Man City for. Yes, because everything benefits from that. Nyekoto konesu what Heart of Lions. Kamara foul. Oh, everybody is talking about it. Kamara should have been a foul. But I've told you, everybody benefits from that. So when person cut that tangent of Rodri say referee, I say Pep Guardiola say referee, I say no. Yow. That be person call me. Pep Ajia to say. Okono ye free so, but contest and yen round here no. Find what benefits pay. I go 2-2. Look, this situation, I leave it to the officiating. I leave it to them. They tell say, how on earth and as past the attack of Dominic Solanke, Colomwani, and Javi Simons, especially 2 goals against Man City. To be very, very honest, attack Benema Spurs about game number. No, talk to me. Attack Bay. And Man City consider 2 goals. Obi our person would league. Colomwani, Javi Simons, Dominic Solanke. Any who gave Nunya a Pushkas contender goal or probably goal of the season. Man City anya do much Munyu. Pep Guardiola try officiating so he's benefited from that before. And I won't complain as a coach. I told me now I'm coming to talk about we about but I admit that these are some of the name about at any point in time. Okay. It's no excuse. Pep no excuse. You lost 2 quality points. You dropped 2 quality points. Rodri, Pep Guardiola. Every coach benefits from officiating. And to some say referee for na ko a. You know person kasa as journalist, but referee there, yaw. You can't complain. One day, ubenya bi na bia benefit. To kasa the near excuse there. You are not ready. You are not ready. Yaw. Enya A22, enya fa obi A22.
Okay, well, coach, the Tinlante, our video analyst, and on Meza, Mamma Full House, I will be a baby, Mamintio.
Yes, yeah, my initiative for
United Bobo.
They say the statistician make us young woman Kazan.
They say they're more form and more basso. One council make us so fancy the man shot or more basso.
Not 3 games
base, Kwame base, Menina and her.
Not 3 games,
the best team. Play on a check and share quite born fast, so you're born 2-2. Kraguno. Kwame is still on Mesha and Pa 90+4.
Dynamite.
What's that into you?
Yeah, I was there. Let's say we have Kasana. Let's see, Leon Kasa share 5 games and the move Nunca. Oh, Leon share 5 games and the move
Chelsea West Ham, London Derby.
Not 2 goals down. What better Tias 3-2?
So it's a son and no my son. Then you guys only can consider.
Then you guys only consider son.
But no, like all jokes aside, I don't know character and there's nothing like new manager.
Oh, that's all they got us wish about.
Van Nistelrooy, sign 4 matches for boy no. Young Koban Yanko Van Nistelrooy games for boy. For compare carried in a compare situation.
Oh, me mum party. Yeah, I think so. Let me first of all make this statement. Say, me recognize Manchester United will make it to the UEFA Champions League next season.
Okay.
That one they actually believe in it, and the biggest addition to Carrick setup one Steve Holland no bench no. You also want Steve Holland any impact.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have such an assistant manager or on chair, managing the dressing room, managing the egos, a lot of respect that you need in the dressing room, Nibia, and only making sure say the amount. I'm telling you, the likes of Casemiro, Mones Abo is no more dressing room. It didn't achieve in your baby more so. But when results go bad, when you be a dressing room one move or you figure a big ball bit to make Jinamo, a team calming situations don't move anywhere. And I think Steve Holland has a perfect CV. Yeah, we'll be on Ancelotti a year, Juma, need to say Morina a year, Juma was our co works over. By our MSA, we play and Casana, so we see a cow, baby, a 10 year about 3 here. Cecil, maybe I'll be Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, in the current Premier League, I don't think any player is better than Bruno Fernandes this season.
Like say, in general, and on a position.
No, this season in the Premier League in general, I don't think any player is better than Bruno Fernandes. I don't think any player is better than Bruno Fernandes.
This season
in common, I mean, Woody. Yeah, I've seen transfers upon transfers in the Premier League, especially when it comes to January transfers. We all saw the impact of Luis Suarez on Liverpool team. What did they mention? I say, yeah, Virgil van Dijk influence. It will Liverpool team in the middle of the season. And I think since Manchester United went into the transfer, because Oba and one Oba hit
instant.
Bruno Oba United that January nah. But I think a king needed to leave for him to be recognized, and the king was Kevin De Bruyne. Now, I'm telling you, to scale and just maybe statistics don't because Bruno Abana, but Kevin De Bruyne was a monster. Yeah, proven player consistently season after season. Now, out of the league, no peer free makono. To still maintain that particular kind of respect the Premier League had with Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, Adeba Kevin De Bruyne Adema League, no. Na demonstration ko ne say other leagues perform number 10 for nyina de omo Kevin De Bruyne it be the Kevin De Bruyne ko asi wonum de e di kasama the Premier League.
Yeah.
So no, this is a quality playmaker. Yeah. In Europe, there are a lot of playmakers, especially when the number 10 is fading out of the system. Now, most of the teams literally go with a more 4-3-3 formation where Nipa no about 10 is as an 8 auxiliary.
You are say half winger B.
Half winger B no but the typical old-fashioned number 10 no you won't be with the Pablo IMS and Co who are very skillful and a set of players are out. Born don't technically they're absolutely brilliant. The fantastic. They will play so well. technical ability no so. Then you transition to a different kind of number 10. Omono is not only about playmaking in terms of dribbling and creating chances and scoring, but definitely this is about players who are effective and efficient whenever born down Monano. So that, for example, Mitchell Mobiti said Francesco Totti. Yeah, on your Glossum technical number 10 as compared to Pablo Aimamo type in Ibino, Maradona, Modiana, no Moyeno. But then said he was effective and efficient assist and scoring. Kevin De Bruyne Amabe set the same Tony Bobby, Frank Lampard. Because Frank Lampard the 8 there be Frank Lampard when he did the typical number 10 be now more effective and efficient. Assist, go, Bogu Mousa. Now, look at that profile and how they are playing. Yow, and then you might be brasisa. You might be brasisa. But one more that Sukura Sadi and Bruno Fernandes can be. What a player he is. Share the last movement for United third goal. Yow, Calvin Bassey a player about 1 inch papa. As I would now go ahead, no,
a fantastic defender.
But look at the brilliance of me. I'm telling you, Seka Fernandes touches Abona. Count me for born in tennis. Onya a slight now with the crack Kevin Bassey start tracking back. After say Bruno Fernandes ban in the mabo on the Murino, Kevin Bassey tracking now by so the pass from Bruno Fernandes was not with the power now. No, he said was a watch you know. So it's a Kevin Bassey cross sugar and a crack. Now this season we had 12 assists. Emu 7 a true set pieces. Emu 5 open play. Now the number of chances he has created almost as 16 into screen so. Now most part of the season Bruno Fernandes ball in a double pivot with Casemiro. Let's not forget that. That's also we're explaining the role. No? Let me say this. Under Ruben Amorim, Bruno Fernandes is now about 3 rules. 1, no ball as a companion to Casemiro in the middle of the park. Number 2, a box-to-box midfielder. Number 3, he needed to also play as a number 10, depending on the phases of play and the opponent they meet. But consistently, they said they all born at this time around as the sole number 10. No? But in phases of the game under Ruben Amorim, it would be at 10, it would be at 8. Yeah, 12 assists from set pieces, 7 in the Premier League first. Chances created, including assists, 68. Yeah, how many games in the Premier League? Such chances created in the better by saying table chances no created. Now look at the number of big chances created by Bruno Fernandes in the league.
45.
No, the big chances.
Big chances 16.
In the Premier League, on a ranked first.
So starts when it be on that first.
But maybe the big chances created. You have some chances they will be better to make creativity.
Yeah.
Depending on where the person stands and maybe any panel born in the ato. But the big chances created by Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, Manchester United need Bruno Fernandes. I'm sure that relegation won't come on yedi. Yeah, relegation won't come on. And yedi about Bruno Fernandes. And I'm proud of him. Say at least in the Premier League, he's been able to maintain a certain legacy that was left by Kevin De Bruyne after Souja Honediako. Arsenal for Ninya. By side do we already kaka say. So omu obi omukuta United States committee me pull Robin van Persie and Bruno Fernandes. Because Premier League teams no mo wono. Arsenal team no Odegaard ade no ye no mo mpe. Nso ntimi nka. Ontimi nka. This is your ultimate playmaker. And I think this is in the corner ya. So Man United finishing in the places of the Champions League. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised say player of the season Bruno will be looked at. Is it possible so bet me you call the record Nekuta Terry on Kevin De Bruyne? Yeah, the rate now all corner there's a high possibility, but the Premier League gets tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. What did they mention as on one the boss set pieces, on one the bonio maybe, but 8 more to go in how many matches? Bare 14 matches. Yeah, obet me yeah dear, but maybe 50-50. But I think for David Beckham's record at United, it will be breaky. One player with the most assists in a single season for Manchester United is David Beckham, with 15 assists in the Premier League. It's a trade there, yaw. They are catching there. Bruno Fernandes is going to be the trainer. Can one 15? No, I could mine 4. Not they are 16. But he's your ultimate playmaker and the best player in the Premier League now. Yaw. City ni omu league je ne sa ankomo no.
Wontumi.
The next games ni na betre. Arsenal me say Merino plan be hard dream pa due to two things. Yaw. He's your player otimi bo different positions the mouse will be prefruma. He's a jack of all trades but a master of none. A master of none doesn't mean he's not a quality player. But I'm only trying to say baby obobi an omanable the obetimi abobi otimi edey otimi bo. He has proven himself to be a fantastic player in front of goal. Yaw, Oshe goes the man Arsenal. What in the bad fifteen otimi bobi? Yeah, what in the content with me? So, o check on your screens now. What about 1,512 minutes? Yaw, as a left central midfielder. What about 36 minutes as a number 10 attacking midfielder? What about 276 minutes as a right central midfielder? What about 47 minutes as a right winger? And what about 1,031 as a centre forward?
So no she goes.
Yeah, no she goes. We Bukayo Saka the free team anymore. He comes next in terms of goal contributions per every single 90 minutes. Bukayo Saka averages 0.63 goals or assists per every single 90 minutes. He is averaging 0.56. Now Arsenal lose Bukayo Saka to injury until we start your game no against Leeds United no Bobby. Now Nippon no neba be shema or no neba ma osa your money in ano. I also be bobi no or so content for a long period of time. So it is no surprise that Arsenal your story the Bible want to say they want to go into the transfer market, they want to buy player A, player B, player C to come and replace Merino because he's such an important figure in their setup. Yeah, Sandro Tonali story the Newcastle for now Banwe Gumi said there be no crebi any baby obi ama ho. But I think it's the agent of Tonali na pushes ade. Yeah, I mean so mo ya no hu bi say Newcastle do na sha na mo mu bi say. Yeah, me nye no hu some pressure bi an wom. I think he's a very good player that will be missed. Arsenal should just address the opportunities in the market and get to it. And that's 6 points in the yaw. Metima catch us 6 points no. Arsenal will game to City.
Of which Arsenal beats me action draw.
And I City beat me 3 points, no.
City for me the menu.
Yeah, what them? Arsenal and Chelsea will match. Chelsea get 3 points every Arsenal when you want. Yeah, what them make I say? Most big teams no big games winning game with me. So there are certain games Arsenal could drop those points. Okay. That is why just maybe they'll need, I'm not saying league never almost, but just maybe they'll need to be very careful with how City are present. Politicians, they will see a bang, not pressure, can show. Can you penalty now?
Mati.
Abelwa, what's up for press conference? They say, they see you be or no. Hey, that unya de.
But I say, Mister, I remember Michael and some Bastivo or the full house. Mike, Bray.
First, away. Munjai Madrid ne penalties, you know. What is the issue?
Penalties in Kwandi as OBG.
Yeah, exactly. 11 penalties in the league. And you see, I think that it is also a way to show that Madrid is strategic. They don't have a solid team yet. You know, they make team Nekita Madrid, you know. Abelua's coaching inefficiencies, and then the team Ankasa lack the necessary balance. So they don't have a solid team yet to play in the manner that they expect. So they need to find every way possible to win a game. And winning penalties is a legitimate way of winning the game. Penalty against Rayo. In fact, Osha penalty it was a clear call, very good one. Because the defender, yes, albeit sending 9 car ball, no. Butu the midriff of Brahim Diaz. So clearly it's a penalty. And they have penalty players who convert penalties when awarded to them. It is their own way of winning. But is it sustainable? That is where the issue is. And your match be an Albania penalty. And in fact, if the game had ended 1-1, say Madrid are both by a kind of 1-1, I will not be surprised. Maybe it was a game of 2 halves. First half for Real, second half for Rayo, because they took the game to Real in the second half, exposing the weaknesses in the Real Madrid team. Play some beautiful football. In Tenya Wawa say, both game of Bernabeu, Madrid Ewini, their 2-star players scored on the night, Vini Jr. and then Mbappe. By the best player of the game, MVP, Miguel de Frutos. Yeah. Why? They played a solid game, and even with a man down, they still held on to their own. party season warm. If he had continued to play, in FIFA he had dominated entirely. But clearly, what happens is teams to serve Real Madrid, no, even on days like this, they find a way to win. And one of the many ways such teams are winning games, they are winning last minute penalties legitimately. Yeah, what the Gemma was where the rem, but wait there, I doubt if anybody at all will have issue with this penalty awarded to Real Madrid. It is a clean penalty, a clear win. The statistics, the number looks very way because Barcelona gave one ball a penalty. No, Anameboa. So many penalty. So Madrid actually move 6 or 7. Because Madrid now 11 La Liga penalties. Barca somewhere around 6 or so. So clearly it points towards the fact that the OU saw the advantage. Never obey you see. It is like an slot to catch a man for say mobile direct or mohano, mobile low block or mohano. Omunyai. That is what they also derive a certain advantage from. But I am concerned for Real Madrid season and how it will likely unravel. Say na bekwa fancy be thing the amount say ye be season no na omaji bibi emu edu whether the La Liga or the Champions League. Madrid. Yes, there are a lot of issues. A lot of issues. I've never seen a team as open and very imbalanced like Madrid team the Sunday City SCCA. Mbappe, like the game against Vallecano, he is the player you will hate the most on such days. Bono, he didn't contribute anything positive. Then without the ball, he was a huge liability. Like you don't even see the effort. Once obi oha on purpose, no, but state a team ni woman or kikano ho kakra. Mbappe cut a very nonchalant figure. I said him fan roaming around and then his impact in the game was not as telling as it should be, because he was a man pressing your way now. Then it means you should make it count when you have the ball at your feet. Bono, he did not really make the impact needed, and I don't know why. But Odia marking for we need to want to games are already start here. Vini and so Japano Mbappe dum kakra. Okay, I don't know. Okay, it might be a sheer coincidence because any detailed research to dive into why it is like that. But games are started pe na Vini a soja. Bones Mbappe dum kakra. Say Mbappe ne su soja na Vini so dum kakra. In the game, but it rarely happens. It rarely happens. And I think one key thing that Madrid can do serious season where no more rasa manimua the decision regarding the future of the two. Wow. Mbappe cannot come now and then leave instantly. And see a job to bring that needed balance. There needs to be just one leader in this team. And Vini, any potential or one, you can't tell him say play second fiddle to Mbappe. If he plays out like this, you bet me your coach be he can make it work. But Ebeye Jumaswa, Ayanejina players Nankasaso. They are the same age bracket. The Mbappe Penovin is Upe. You want to win the best individual prizes. I also want to win. Vini is as ambitious as Mbappe is. Did you open Mesmepe? A banisana. And found in the pursue yet so Penipa Sem said Obeti ya kakra wonimu if Mbappe is winning all the top individual prizes and come man when especially he knows say do no so wonimu no obetimi dia yesa. So one crucial decision Madrid needs to make is the future of the two players. Very important. They need to just lay down the marker. No mu say hane yeko into when he jana kwa manako. But I also agree says Vini kwa it should not be for cheap money. A buono, it was so sombo. To England, I don't see why people are worried Arsenal will not win the league. It will be just like Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool played some beautiful football last season. But another factor it decided the title for them was the rivals are no they weren't consistent enough. At a point in time, he has Nottingham Forest grabbed me a challenge for the league title last term. This year, Aston Villa. Ama say Aston Villa lose who will fear against Brentford. Then the English media will title it Villa's title bid dented by 10-man Brentford. Aston Villa has never been a title contender, but I have same name Cynthia. What is here? So clearly, the rivals available now, they are not that good as Arsenal. One, they are not as consistent like Arsenal will be. Arsenal won't win all their games, but will their rivals do so the same thing?
And only big question, no.
Would they?
Simple say Arsenal drop a point.
No, the reality.
What is your surety say Man City no so babe catch up?
The reality is Arsenal will not win all their matches. At a more 5 matches.
14 games now can.
Mikel Arteta will unravel. The more matches be a number Arteta Kunya Arteta Ebebabium. And see it won't try. Yes, they beat Leeds and they asserted their character, their status as the best team in the league now, and then arguably the best
to me.
But the more Mosansu Babe boss was Atete Kuyeno. Ebesansu Ababium, because they won't be this consistent, they won't win all their games. But Man City, Manchester United, Chelsea, Aston Villa, they all the never come. Are they credible enough to mount a fierce title charge? Say Arsenal Debbie. So if Arsenal panics because City wins a couple of games, then it leads me to question Arsenal's character and their mentality. No, there is nothing to fret over. By the time a Man City Benyani team say after new ones no the omo fry no old ones no mu pry no o ma be blend no. Saturday year league no will be somewhere around April. And if at that time Arsenal have not laid down the gauntlet and said the year penny, I'll be very surprised. So from the start of the season, me, I don't think City has what it takes to win the title. Yes, the Pep factor, but Pep is not Pep anymore. The Gojola, and yet Gojola nini Nensan wasesa. So that is clearly what makes me convinced to say it could be Arsenal, but they need to do more. Attackers not have the Gyökeres share, Gabriel Jesus share. It's positive. I'm say second goal. I'm the man only Madueke positive. But the point is, the attackers will need to step up and deliver. This is Arsenal's year. If they fail, no more bad thing. And so they are more. Liam Rosini ane they are all I want the positives, I want the negatives. May the way we send the Shadrach about halftime substitutions at World Premier League name. It is becoming a trend for especially the big teams. A more deep squad and they have quality. They are able to go into the bench and then bring on changes, especially at halftime. If you check it, trend now. Who say halftime substitution and that's second half. We are call halftime now and there's a team the new man Messi same in my changes. Chelsea did 3 halftime changes in the game against West Ham. Jarrell Hato Okoye, Alejandro Garnacho Okoye, Benoit Badiashile, Basa for defender Mumefa. O city o ball no simple. Basa for them mefa.
Basa for them.
I'm catching you to say. Only
Mun fara hu dia, mun fara hu meje
Badiashile simple no meye jumane mama. But you see, on a more serious note, who said the numbers keep appreciating? I am positive. Just a coach ne suya ade. But then again, se coach ni nim ne juma ko bedrua. Exactly the point. If you know what was right from the onset, it means you be bisa questions about the coach and then approach to games. If you have to make half-time changes, it means you were surprised.
Way true.
3 half-time changes. I just say BBC will game ni mo a shock. Now who to say bibi say bekoso ankoso.
Also West Ham so no omanya form
good. And Rosinia yeah the same thing against Napoli. What does it mean? Undruye. People will look at the other side, positive. Coach near changes here, we need. But then again, the other side of the coin too, if you are looking at it to analyze this, it's valid. Then the coach's preparation towards games, poor and it needs improvement. Again, there is a counter-attacking effect in this. Me Garnacho, me Badiashile, me Hato. What the mabo no you may frame. Players were ego. Nti many ye me the scapegoat. Yenti na coach ne person or chess yenti. But meanwhile, what about the coach's game plan? What nti Joao Pedro mobile no? Did the coach change his game plan?
The same game plan.
Exactly. So when you're careful now, your players or more hard here, it will prickle their ego, and the reaction they will give us, they will lose trust in you, the coach. What sacrifice here? Just all the nim neko, and there will be a boganacha and no mbobo ni hatu no nyadie and abadi asile di amontono. If you are not careful, especially for a young coach, where a team move for frono, it might cause problems for you. So Rosinia is doing well, but he should check against some of these developments.
Okay, well, Mike, me that say Steve Bray. About Newcastle 4 in the Massa. They Mama Sojao.
Dabi onye shi.
Four against Newcastle.
But they actually my reporter was company.
But they actually
but center back I feel say when you're the right environment to say Basana obey me abo ni yepa to body
Liverpool their own
disaster
I'll call West Ham
for Maguire and I say not in China.
But now about disaster anyway I'm the basketball.
Nobody's seen anybody achieve 4 and 5.
Basketball score line now be now. Baba said refa. Unim say geography or location a chair. We were more Ghana Premier League every more. True, but baby, there are a lot of talent local scene. Omo abrocha komo discover be say Jimmy Carragher. Just imagine say I go hard or Reba mo boy chire ho ni Aziz Ansah Oze Jimmy Carragher we
so sometimes baby ya wo no so kan ho sometimes baby ya wo free no kan ho
nti you see sanity but interesting stories Sandro Tonali there it looks unlikely say Arsenal
Newcastle
yes but who prefer no as a player he's that player he has quality he has everything now Italian game aye bibi o kakranti when you talk about players ABR people might think you are just hyping players just like that but the Italian league and say a quality world best and players that all form of free baby are instant impactors in the game na ili league no account be and then your my bibi kakra but Odru Ilia he is likened to Papa a friend say Andrea Pirlo because of the all-round game into Mikel Merino eko into Senka we no hear anything to go by and if Arsenal mean business and they would want to cash in, go in on and get this gentleman. I think he's more than the perfect fit. I didn't hear. He possesses the high tackling ability, or RD goals, or making assists. That is the player you would want to settle on. But there are certain players they don't deserve to play for certain clubs at certain point in time. It's like Liverpool having Steven Gerrard at that time. Now Liverpool deserve Gerrard at that moment. It's like Luis Suarez at Liverpool. And Sana Barcelona before the quality and what he provides, he presents on the day now. Liverpool deserve such quality because at that point, near Obeye Biano ain't been translating into titles. Yeah. At the same when
Manchester United went in for RVP.
I see.
Now the clearest case, Nene Bruno Fernandes, Osiakama United. At this point, anytime seasons now be boning now. The quality, he doesn't deserve to be at Manchester United.
Yes.
Not to say United and a big club. They are a big club. But the sense of football
say born and the bonus period,
Yeah.
I was said the Munyam Shibia your friend titles Eba.
Yes.
And he said, maybe I mean say
yes.
Club need deserve no. Yes, be a team
yeah. There are certain players be a new council wasty career no clubs be at certain period. And in Fabregas be free Arsenal joining Barcelona. Eventually he came to Chelsea. You heard the storyline of Fabregas. Should he have stayed at Arsenal? But this is a real baller. Inti Tonali ne Bruno Fernandes no, these are quality players. The reason they are in the Champions League this season was down to the performance last season for Newcastle. He is that A-list player. You would want to have him in Madrid, Liverpool, AC Milan, a prime team. You would want to have him in the PSG team, Bayern Munich team. That is the levels I was saying. Cratchy Weibo. So Newcastle ain't a bad club, but in there's just a player being. That is why I told you some time ago. Say the Saudi Pro League, and your man and your idea very sustainable, not because of finances. The money is there and you're bottomless. But the desire of every footballer, it's not all about the money. But after the game, what he will be remembered for.
Wontumi.
In what is N'Golo Kante about Europe? What is most of the players now back to Europe? The hub of football, Europe. But where talent are spotted, the Latin, the African continent, and now but baby, a football, it's Europe. So people call because he can't hear big. But I had the desires of football as a footballer, the open Europe. So and you're sustainable. So for Sandro Tonali, I wish say Nanka big boys in the drew this stage, and they will need such quality. Arsenal beer. Newcastle fans say at this point, they will not be even open to a deal. But should it have been Manchester United of yesteryears? Should it have been AC Milan? And I say that of Real Madrid. I think this boy have the right fit to move on. Guardiola complaining about decisions on the field. The fact that Orca say it be happy with Benin does not mean say it does not mean say referees are supposed to be fair in the game, because it's a foul. My witness be against the same Spurs side. Now I think Sergio Rea and never bought clear ball, and Sadio Mane was quicker. No, then I see or not bought the penalty. It's a foul. But anya nunti Manchester City performance above from this season. Me catch you. I think 2 months ago say there seemed to be something wrong with Man City, which I can't really put to words. But they are not the Manchester City we know. And so modern mono opeja levels drew baby. Everything seems to go well with you, even officiating about advantage. But of course, I say the Manchester City this season, from last season up to this time, it looks like a team that the manager is struggling. And in share the number of names or they were more them, and yet the Pep Guardiola way. But we have players coming in here and there, as many as 10 or so players in a short space of time. Sheki, Ednuri, Magay, Gonzalez, a lot of players. But fancy, how can you impart in your person in a short period of time when you're the Man City flair? So they are not that team. In the Arsenal dropping points in Inano, and you're good omen to City, because City now can some Monday morning say they are a team that can keep their foot on the accelerator. It's true, both of them are foul. But overwhelmingly, City have been a bad side this season. Omo performance, and warranty a title. But because Akoya Arsenal, everybody thinks that say City can hook a cry, but this is not a City team with swag.
Okay.
That City fear, a new BM this season. And Ademola Lookman to
Atletico. But my main hit it line real quick. Steve, watch me now. Chairman Chum, our line so couple. Only chairman in Nkomo.
Okay, chairman, good morning.
Good morning, William.
Machompo Kodie.
Obadi Adaruma, Odina Chain United Nations Vehicle Kama.
And I'm Asipa, and I don't pay the Mwakwa about Wontumi 101.3 Wontumi TV. Yansaka let be from Krobia Kumasi Santoro called Nano Pay, and we 8-member kind of communication team in charge of match promotions and Fabu Sensors project. Udi Ekahon appointment to who is saying first of all, congratulations.
Na mafakonya isu na machia Krobia Kumasa Santoro supporters of Buchi in Anope na asede to bi musu kwa makoroko management na nipa down in an African and management say omasanya yinu anuma yedi edi ababo ntin nyina gidi say yemegina ekukesi enim na yemekasa enfante supporters enema koso o Krobia Kumasa Santoro ko na yada we asafu du ko on yene field ana we say so yebesana sin yem wa say be ya enema atosini ewo reduce so say ya entimi ko reduce ni see the edijumode na say sa ebeboa na kaka creating a figure ko supporters atina baba ba ya so say ni am make sure say Fabu Sensors so no meeting ya bon de rene meeting akoyi ti ni je ke say fa sa edimami baba ba mi ya
na said ye wasi aka no emze mpanimfo akuku dam nwotwe a ayi mu Fabu Sensors and the match day promo emze we do match days a na we do baby na akoye rasafu dukunku awanya na akoye bibio ise adwuma ne ye no mo chichemu ana say na besi akọ obetimi ate won kakra ma row no say do mesia play no na afi obi anya ne chava because on say stations edoso radio so doso divisions ne say
said the Odika kind is in a dimfo, Moon said Monash, actually drew a benefit. Munamuyamra, it meted that, but I see a company for the other Kenjuman, said it Tibiano, on Bachelor, one baby, a seal competition, Snamai. A quite BI, the first one, Yakupon Bama Modin, and he supporters about it in Yini Muda, teaching PI, see Kubiani, making sure, say, Muma Konya, Australian supporters, Akasano. Yebeko ni ameki show say akasa de ache supporters ni yimu na de sere ni tanya kupo me amode ne nkwa na etime di juma na ma etime akoya juma we no say nyina na se ni juma me kasa yinu enu bi wo mu mamuda but yeli pa ba ko yenu mi ense bi ma ya ibida se nya management support ya omuso do so ya sini de metime akasa yimu bi ama ba bia ba biu bia be free be PSC ko bia so ya kweko ni ameki show say yakasa de ache supporters na ma ekwan management special supporters e baba ba ya so se bia ba in simbi also o mede resuma ya de mo beka ani de eso be tie eso be draw my attention o mo de maya e beba aba be yi ano de am support je adwuma kikisi a o mo de ahye nsa ya hoden ani nkwa ani sese mu nyina musum support mbo boan na kakra create me de dwuma nti de ye be ye ni an kama yi mu bi ani.
Thank you. I'm saying we are new pana. News air fresh. I'm saying yababa kotoko issue no so nemum. Yenia na Napoli exactly a year enene ana ofrimo nyame mfa ne currency yenka busuafo nso yaw ewo nso atwe. I'm saying na wo hot day no memories kakra say.
You know I'm saying another pay nyame adoma ekimi sorry say dem bi kan no na nra idi kan didi hon komoni no me kopie ho didi nkomo bebre se asemi senka to me ana asemi no bi na to na ana se yemu bi era so ti ase na to ya ka adopai idi e 1 year yemi no nyame pa na currency na me nyame tima kasa da ko hu so atre no ni tu mi di football chi no mi hu bi sada na ya de a hu se bibi bisi ampa na bibi asi but kakra enema e course no se de mpani ko mu di tim na nim ne tumfo ene ni mpani na Africa mo sorry na e kire se korokono tim no e fikese mi dia tim ya santima wura dia nti se obi di ni sa ko kan na amewu abema enya ado obechi ase be bia e se mo faso na se mba kon bia se faso bia no nti Major League ni bo se nyina hu ya e show clear se na management ni fikese mu nyina ani abre. The Force Minister Mani Bayer, whom I asem so could feel because him or any can want him, say, a big can say, wabontin ebi kan say ko baby na edi ne bae ohene ka say so wabontin so ohene ewu na aba omo hwe no mu di huduma na menya am say ene supporters leaders in the statement about bontin management so akasa amafo bebre kasa fa ho say so de nema esi kono mo ne nje ho mini akota asem say mfa wo kokota ohun say de emra esitie kota asem na kakaka emra ana e kan ho yen katumi ho nti ni na megno kasa se sie kodoko asem almost by 3 years ni na me among the 4 years aba court o mun kata mu wa court o mun hyen ho ya kodoko ni making self sie call ina perimeter de court asem obi an kan ho hwe ba yen a ye de court no you say yes say asem bi che court a ne so ti abontina nim bi o mu a so kama no tun je best friend supporters ni say omo bo management bo omo kan bi akon so omo nti ho hwe no asem na kodi court ho de mini ameti maka cho say enema ekosie papa lawyers safuduku and then lawyers omugusu omudijuma because we hear dey kakra kwa yanku nipa the court park so keke e bi court 13 referee video kwa abontin almost 3 years in the court ada abetu kura no di agora judge na fa won chew nti yade a management na ya bro mu ye huduma and you know if you say say dey ni bi tibim na nam say court no ka se mu wi a judgment na abontin na won be say enema enkoso clubs ni bi assess the name of so e se o mo sem nti dey tell no ye pass who ni be ba bontin channel for the addition ade because me tuna ka say match is ya kokoko na sem enema sa ne ma na sisi ye na kiti esisi before come on the two referee so mu dina kiti mu suba exercise it is a judgment bi ba bontin na say dia senwe ye say chu bi aso a bi diri say addition ade kese ba nti be say supporters ni say eno so kamu bi menia eno kamu bi papa ma papa no me nuafo no ofafo no mo pebo no tu amanfofo amanfo nkopa nti ade kese ayade a ababeda ho a aye ta kese pa de Ghana football nti nyina stress kakaka se court di asem na de bebo ne boni wi a bigiri cha akoma abeto ye na de ya na ekuhu so atede minia 1 year ni no ni tumi de football chi no ne hu bi da ye ko ba bi a bitini pia obi ni ye obi se ni ebu obi aso ni pia ba se obi be twese kan be sika de awo obi nipa me ne ti ho ni nipa e ba no so ni e pamu omo ni e ko ni e ba ni e yesa nipa di pie ni e de sika wo no ni hu bi o football mu da ayade a ayade ke se pa e pi se e pi si o mi tu mabrabam hu football na me jiri se mbra Ghana ide supporters ni nyina nkoma koma tu no bia pa blame ma management no na asem de o court o mi ni an court da mun se de na sitie ti asama de meeting aka te support obi an kana koma tu na akodu court no de ntimi kan wasen bebre mbra no akwakudi embranin for home yom hojuma
emse we ya no ya maye na e court CDM say ye nkokra na contempt aba na the best you say say after polling incidents no wako match venues for Ghana starting league we see as this what ye bi wom ye who be different from polling case by ye court inti venue no ye sua bibi ana still that na na that's wom
bi mi adada na change kusi so ate ne kra say obere say ye call a friend is saying Kamba Oblast, a call Oblast, not Oblast supporters will be a place that a hotel, it's me up boy hotel. Say, and yet police for an penny for a year ha and can be sure also yet. Jacob Baby, Ama, a biswa could see her. Then you snip pre easy. We did say addition idea and meet you the meaning here. Mrana every for the buy and M say young clubs like Siena a Bobo Baba Sports Stadium house for air ball Legon Sports Stadium or more ball be a more piece the whole seat Kakano and meeting the police vocal. But more your more park a Timifa it be a 3,000 2,000 or 1 young baby and Geminia so bomb or diako at the team can see Chakwas whom you move cocoa for commentary if you want any no bomb can Minia SS back okra na the echo who you your qua see them and the walk on Gani. Now, what come on, what to do, you know what now? We show Ukoko team to continue supporting ye. Cracking in them a cosono. Say, every phone for me, so I buy a fun home, Roma, I'm paying for any sort of foreign security for now for moon, real football, me are a common supporters in the free stadium. Say, Mrs. C. Chuma Bijinawi, and yet Ben wa Mimi P. say, a year by the mean Dikotochi and Kobe, baby, to say. Baby, any say, Oko Minia, police were there, then so be you with the anno show din, sir. I had the anno thing. wasutro de obeje unu obi a woni e din kwotwe bebre so a bibi bitimi asi eti nyema ne da so chichemu kakaka na se no achi boy ekoboy so protest amko the fence out of line so mko duru o mu video no bia mo pam ni gisa manfo no mo hwe ni mo gina park po na tisa bom krom take it no mu bibia se mo mu ram eti esu bibia free mana anna se koroko na tem bia se disa ni ma wedi esu aba na esu be preach supporters we na ekoso amanfo be fam radio so mu sem ba de ko hu yini tini be se bi betu eni bia nyina ya Ghana fo nyina enuanom ye bomodin se football no betimi akonanim it is a for no enhwe ha dia amenia enyema ekuhu so attend da so football ma betimi aka to se emfiri mu ba kokora ni mpan bi so mo hu bi di omo sa si omo bo se do peso oye no obeye oye so obeko etini ni ametimi aka so de ni mehu de emfiri okora
yada se yambra in league no so say kotoko our league no this year yeah second round you mabeko ye no 6 matches ya win no win who I deal say na dey na ohwe a ekutia team no for now coach enya win and afi players in modern boy omintimi win matches
me aka meeting na say so football no do baby a na supporters no so country papa obi no be tina catch meeting here I say koroko any team you good team coach no so born home then e make sure say obviously a good team e dey am but dey ba ko ani say the see league ya see en koroko supporters e na referee ene mpanifu e team na referee say team a new team meeting a catch or say players are ready to say my do bono. She register almost be 30 players a move 20 or 19 new players. Some go list na some my agenda some masha. Move 20 new players do mobile league. But coach Karim Zito make sure say obetini ayeti ni e dia man. E ba ni say ya enema me nsa na o football mu. Unya team ni na e fi se koroko e big. Unya ba ye na accessory to foul. Point be also at supporters ni mama ye nuanom se ntofo kan stay kodo for is ka kese koto de ba o ba ye so be ye adwuma no obi o ho ba e be fa na ma na ye adwuma obi o so ay kakaka obi timi wie first one you call the whole season no the following season and sana otimi ehunsu etimi timi aka to se sa ni mani nyina ka kambo mu a na ema enema ekuchia ba gbe bi se ye hye timi sisi ye kakaka e ogibi se league na se NTFA Cup de betimi age and good next season no na yetimi team efi se ebetimi bi ense si eguse ishiawa ebetimi omna we ni nyina ebetimi aboan but kaka round team na ehye de mind baby am hu se Smithon wona ankasa no cause who team na coach Karim to na every 2 matches bi am or some players issue players onyanya ni team individual talent no ho but team na de onyanya but nyam ti ase pise kaka obetimi ahya ma onya se team we de ni ya betimi aka cho se enyama me se football no bia betimi atoko this season
you on some say no bonko mo pa but yem raining tino you do be see na omo game against Adriana no before the game ya baba na no ye di unkomo na information be or the supporters no eno nso ya ba na ye da asepa na menka ho
mini amasme da masina isi aba ye de say de da na ya osi bom si bo no mic me bom si bo no men try some boy friend me kura meba na yini aka bom ni aye adwuma
o to nesa confirmation na ma bonten de anga uma
so ya oni midin komo bi wa chiro mbia wonka
amen kan komo kro chairman chum ana yene na kwakoro ni ti kapo ana ye discuss the
ya mo fa dia ya mo fa dia
fairness of super so mama me Premier League results just a weekend the twam no eba so right from na no matches eba so ene dia kana yambro brosubie na fa bedwafo no na yemra mehweme sanse samde ebi o pa me kai se ya ba si ana na pressure so aba ogum so no meboa ana pressure I say some pressure so prosper ayi super o Abdul Karim Zito so am say pressure kono so power vision and dreams about 2 na on Saturday and Santoro Konso Lions ekwaje 3-1 and so free away and by Friday no Nations about 2 Mediama and so academy back no game about so na fe and so matches about so no the chance Adriana Stars and Summertex omubo goalless draw no so doma Jeminya no say na fans ni bi so fru say Summertex e ball 10 against 11 dey so kwan bia so Adriana she Adriana for no nya draw say na fans ni bi any kra still now no Summertex so say by 3 seasons ni omo kodoma bia ya na omo ha adwen pa bibia ni Gold Stars e she 1 Emma All Blacks anti House of Folk and be chem ebo goalless enra Holy Stars omubo 2 goals Emma Brokum Chelsea and so Antimi ante Carola womo she 1 Hawaii for no and so Antena fe Young Apostles omo e she 11 Wonders by 3 goals to 0 no aye said the city afei mama mi tobo na ye nhwe na medium afoi ada so ada top 43 points Adriana Stars 36 House of Folk 36 Bibiano Gold Stars 36 Santoro ko 35 Summertex our 35 Lions and so our 30 Carola 28 Nations our 27 Dreams our 26 and Young Apostles 26 Bechem 26 Holy Stars 26 All Stars our 24 Afei Vision and some our 24 omutoso dunum and 16th 17th 18th Brokum Chelsea Ahoy United and 11 Wonders 23 points 20 points 9 points respectively and no city as say I'm the pressure the ebi wo mu pounds and opana did say onim ni ntia consistency into me man kiti na no and so aka ema zito so be so che say mo practice some pieces pa to defend and to attack Bam Lions or the both 2 goals beat your man and worship yenantimwe.
Yeah, Premier League, Ghana Premier League, you know, weekend now, yeah, so much exciting to some of the teams now. It means a positive results from games. And for Kotoko, imagine him say how a game record, you know, from preparation, they thought probably maybe 3 points. And 3 points, but based on the fact that before the game, no Heart of Lions lose games be brave. Mature almost season 2. The first part of this season, you know, in the first 20 games, 20 games, in the first 10, no Heart of Lions only performance. Only 6. Now Olusu Bakope and I'll draw me answer. That was the first 10 games of the season. No, winning 6 straight. The only loss, you know, a game of body tier Gold Stars or dance park 3-1 no lose, you know. When it has ball draw and on the Kotokoso a ball draw, Nina no Obiaso Antimi Anshino. Now the imagine I'm gonna say the second part of the 20 games, you know, and cool year for my Heart of Lions then no and a BT Kotoko technical team or men can say BT Kotoko no. Me who say Kotoko 4-4-2 our Pando no many are Jehon cry. And my boys in any place in here a bit exposed, in my opinion. There are certain games that just by virtue of the selection you can say non Krofia ha any how much day. Pandori 4-4-2 ni say. 4-4-2 ni say. 4-4-2 ni means over 2 in the middle, 2 out wide and a 2 top. Meaning say 4-man attack in a typical 4-2-4. 4 now top and 2 runners, 2 wingers and a 2 top. So 4 in now should be able to give you some amount of goals. Yo. Let's say 4-man attack, you know. Say on the paper 4 attackers but go say Peter Waha Philip Amo now the Donzo can abetamo ho ya goals na wo hwehwe e Pando no e say uni probably 4 but e kwa goals no be fa so be but e ketewa bi inu so Philip Amo Peter Mido Donzo none of them is a natural finisher e to de me ansanka abetamo ho abetena na de goal ne be ba ya ni da no so find a way to balance your method. Don't be too open. As our selection, I say you don't even regard opponent. Pando in the last 5 years. What the game we say can one? Wontumi share no. In the whole 2024 2 games 1-0 and a Pando de Makotoko home and then away 1-0 the whole 2024 2025 from over 3 games. Or said the 1-0 for Saka home. Or the 2024 the one 1-0 me and sa meaning say one in the Bobiana a KG even on over shock on shock then there's 0-0 there's another 1-0 view Stivoneti last 5 games in 2 years Kotoko ntimi share Pando.
Yes, we can wa born be for 5 wins and a draw.
Aha. Biano ye very marginal 1-0 1-0 1-0 0-0 1-0. Oh dia na kwa no. Eti dia wo pese ogi league no. Na ogi FA Cup or pese ogi league no. Or pese o stay in the league ya. Pando ho na wo kono de. First of all, o first year no e draw. There are certain opponents who ye league no. Sakotoko kono vision eseseka ye kwakofa de aba young apostles enka ese ye kwafa de aba basaka ye kwafa de aba Stevenie those things na wabo no omo results akotokonya ye say vision basaka holy stars hoy kotoko results onya ti omo ye say we are not speaking with the name and the weight kotoko, we are speaking with some 11 boys, 11 amateur players on the field. Almost shut the one of the biggest jerseys on the continent. But Wontumi nya dwuma no jersey ni hia no. And Wontumi fa di nya analysis with the players no be players 11 players na they don't have the capacity to win you our Pando. And I'm not speaking because kotoko akolu so abantia. Etino me no strategically before even kick off. The essential coaches in the team say we start by protecting the 1 point. No more kwan bi beda ho dia. Then we can have the free and come back. But say you kwako bien 4-4-2 Peter aha Philip Amoha those boys no wo kwa amfa goals mrawo Donzo or Ranissa do other top boy dey na finfin da ho empty 2 midfielders yo me say Heart of Lions okay one of the teams are more variety or more attack Heart of Lions can because of variety akotoko attack ni variety Go Stars attack ni variety atakumi ansha ahokyera wo yetim num kotoko abetamu ansha okoye ne ehuru de siye and your buy na no be goal so there's no goal scoring variety you can so one dimensional one person be near that so one shot then we hope someone can who is responding sada koto attack na kwakoye
coach ni nsu ni madwuma
e brebi atwam nya sana na tie en balance and fake beti nya hyebi o me nu ansha then the coach will dig into the pocket na for coach some boating no boy no not number free attackers way I'm telling you 90 minutes back over knocking on the door then say the abetamu ansha bi nche so when you go to Pando and open up like a 4-4-2 udru traffic mu a omo ton yi bi omo pai a ekufu
sweet bar na
sweet bar ni a
bofruit bi no ba umia na afia akitwa
only perform attack but go na me fifa na nkasa de yawo abetamu akeka no ho a go rema so the team was too open me yapa
no san Bashiru Aford
yawo adena ade Pando ko be game no cause attackers be bregu team no biem yemmo bi sesei there are certain of open opponents be and what's that Pando quantity the players be more exhausted more so Kotoko is a team who so attack within the fullbacks Stibo enie me refer because of team no asaso team nchen Patrick ko support fullbacks ko support na medical kind say crosses we no no mameka se mincho se wo se me or mama yusu players no o me dominant sa situation ya boy ya return net no Kabara and I am sure somebody didn't even tell him born or call you know ubeti akasa eye foul basa woni venu no woni me referee woni me game no so woni me league no so a boy me nkosa me ko chero me ko grepo he should have gone for fist almost anfa video no mrabiem and top form Emma who sanju defenders ni they will not clear second ball on beda Shadrack mun ko mo chika krab ni hwego no on beda I thought say about festival of attack and it's so no wagina home but to go for a grip no there e kwa 50 in free to defenders no be ma ho achiro apart from that no if you expect the referee to save you Pando ya obeyi nani so me nam nim say Kamara honestly as obeyi ball free to so first na okoche no e 50 referee no feel he doesn't possess the knowledge of your Venus no be brain to kwa o say niam be brain botia no he has to be guided at this point they make me can say league na die kotokoka so na ni tu be heto amu a tu ni na hwe be bono intino they don't have the squad a prime squad or they bet me call for 2 titles kotoka so call for EPL GPL no esa call FA Cup yawo wa hwe na ni mienu nyina akọ say baby madwene ye me pa ne say ekwan bia so aye kwan papa so bia no kotoko nyi aduana a all out game aduana for pompo ata me ha maka kire no he is doing some fantastic job but Kotoko has to go all out and stay in the FA Cup. Kotoko nye FA Cup
sacrifice Premier League no.
Kotoko team built to win the league.
There's the squad not to be for 2 no.
But FA Cup no makes me angry.
Oh yes, it's a cup omo a cup team.
Oh yeah, Adriana Frimahana ka anymore.
No one share the
Mediama ne sama text wo be anymore.
Say me good anu ne trick ni nie. Mediama e league ni onim so control league ni.
So watching.
Me Kasemba, Mediama they will not be targeting the 2 trophies. But Sabako Bomo beko all out for the other. And right now they are in control of the league. It is as a Kotobasa always see another energy in going for that fight, you know.
For signage
Yeah, and then hope in the league. Say Mediama beko akotiashe. The league now to say the Pep work for Ateta, control no Mediama for instance. If you know our league, don't be deceived.
I think when you look at the squad building of teams in Omubu League, now feel no more prena. Mediama team is looking much more matured and consistent than any of the teams in the league. There's no doubt about that. The quality of football, the most signing some year, the players no more blended with more that because I say a crown or 2 Canada in the film. But let's not forget, say team no more CAF Champions League there 2 or 3 years ago. No, na Kamadini were a part of it. Derek Fojo no a part of that particular team. Let's not forget about the experience of Salim Adams. Had to focus the double some time ago. Edge the league, as I did the FA Cup. Omu a prime. Omu Felix Cheya wako Jini Dinwo Egypt against Alali. Nano kanuti Carlos Omu first half. Someone me catch the dress or look Jenny Sem. Efa Felix Cheya. Now these are the players who are in the dressing room. Womuna woho. Ano mo dem kura no so abe frafra. Now Fuzi tell our money boys no so prepare wonche. Now compare it to the Kotoko team and the kind of players that they have in the dressing room, the kind of players they have in there. Yusuf Mubarak a Premier League winner or that dressing room
and there's a bit of calmness around Mediama. Look, you come match after match. Your Baman they say, "What you Mediama hon come?" League na can league no higher winning in who.
As will be in any attention no more so.
And the pressure no what?
Yeah.
Is it to call?
Is it not because a Mediama for post or X and open a me who use a picture being an aga and dawa kita and cigarette all share or more go for mono. So Mediama and or where I don't go by equal to commonly Diana Mono Macaro.
And in my candid opinion, Kotoko squad way crown, maybe person Champions League no. Come and pick squad way your confederation. Very good test confederation. Champions League, you know, yeah, on member North Africa for 3 prelims, you know. Or Bob Pakum. I feel now as a Danuani. Squad way. Menya Naka Kotoko Beko Confederation. Naka Champions League.
Psychologically, some of the teams are even ready to prepare 150% than whatever they show there now. Sometimes that is the questions I ask myself.
Precious nomination rack mama mo I media ma for post picture on tea. Mo hu dia mo dia ma for dia ma mo hwe me na so the guy ni sit da wo no so no as hwe mfa no ho kra.
Media ma to.
No relax.
So when you league no so yeah, when you league no so ye pa. You born 10-10-10. You bought 34 games, but you born 10-10-10. The first 10 games, you know, so born year. Now second 10 no transition between the first round and the second round because league you born 17-17. It is hard middle 10 no, and not bridge between the first 10 and then the last 10 no. Now the idea says half for senior
guys.
Kotoko no what? Maybe a time no one.
I go start the whole house where the jamumre.
As a fan who
sign a table no it's right now. And with Mediama any FA Cup no super brace how. Mediama your league you know. Now last time we double
say we true definition of say the table is here. Or Mediama
Mediama mind so free FA Cup no them matters.
Oh yeah.
No focus on the league you know. But the tennis is a league no way no then they go all say me per se. But be a league here market on the engine distracted.
And here they are pay. What is the management? Still a movie league in Tibia.
Then they are swaying away from the reality.
I don't even agree with Newton.
Yo.
I don't agree with that. You see, me, if I'm a management of a club, you are paid to do a job for me, so you don't have to come to my office giving me excuses. I will take none of that. You see, you care about consistency. We forget that Kotoko, for the very first time in so many years, I've kept players. Kamara, Lord Amwa, Patrick Esiedu, Samba, Ansu. They were all there. Peter Amidu, Saka Dauda, Abet Amwa, Kwame Poku. How many players now? As many as 10 players. So it's about time that the players now can take responsibility. The coaches have to take responsibility. I will argue with anybody.
Yes.
They are not bad. But it's players and coaches failing to do their job. So they should do their job. If you are a player, you have to do your job. Wontumi can't say Lions players no more. We are better than Kotoko. Yes. No. I won't take that. But football, no, a repetitive action. You see last week and I see this week. Fagos no tour. Schoolboy defending. It shouldn't happen. Look at the mistakes Kotoko shouldn't be conceding from this. Oh. So be the board now. Basic thing a coach you picture and he say you check your body, check who is next to you. Into ball no, who move it 1-2 step, you check. One a woman side, who check you shoulder, one a okay, ball any panel ball position banner. Potentially wait my passable on to. That is where I need to be. Into checking the third goal. Kotoko lose some matches, but this one I was very hurt. Because you don't have to lose the game this way.
I say a show to say Opandro de be Lucy.
Debbie
when in so be
yeah. Oh yeah.
No, me body still work can in an oho. And yes still dey be am so na no. They still work over so say be elementary mistakes ni go on ma. You can say repeating one. As a player and a psychological views Opandro de acquire results in here. But the best of say one so we bought against Bashiru a false teamer. You should respect free flowing omo beba wo so any time akoro kone Lions wo oboase na no ya ayi be she Obin Junior be she one ball no and the grounds are bash na coach has go to match league
yeah I don't crop it
so we go bash when say bash team there o ma won home
top 4 is she Lions here they scored from
what am I say coach ni say Zito say set pieces me are there on my train how to defend and even how to attack versa pieces. Omutumi Jumanana, but coach in the betro begina pitch in the soa. And one no.
So it's about
baby a born of fire and Lions on the chef right from corner. No, how many players on the ball Lions on Mujina the Babashe?
Yeah, we have players we are capable enough. Mediama players or Mombroco players in the
Wontumi.
We have players capable enough. Yes, I can no before Lidi, before they call Africa final. That guy has quality, but if he fails to utilize the Nyoman or one, then there's every cause there. Yeah, we're calling it out. He led Bofwa Kwatano. Our Africa final against this waterman. You see, and then
you play the expectation and load.
No, it's not expectation.
One Kotoko fans demand, you know, you're different from one.
Yeah? Our quality are any of the teams that will league go Bobby. But our quality, that is one thing. Exhibiting that on the field, I had the responsibility of the player on the field of play. As many as 13 goals or so, or joining second half of the season. How many goals now? I bet I'm more call injury layoff for 3 months or about Sambeshe. So the avenue of goal scoring, but it's up to them to do what they're supposed to do. Your quality, your names, or a team that has Emmanuel Enchi, Walid Neymar. So if I'm in charge of the club, I will force you to perform. Because to me, my club will be in for Moon Campua. This same thing was struggling against 11 Wonders like 2 weekends ago. And we're winning the first game in many games. I know 11 Wonders. They are the bottom place club. Or China 1. So and then you go into this game, you lose by 3. No, I can't take that. Who as a player, you shouldn't be happy that you are even conceding 3.
You said Steve I can say what can I say? Steve has what you say. Now ball Ebia Bofo. I want to be sorry to say it all no disrespect to Bofo ebi a quality na wo no as compared to Kodoko no Kodoko de ambe was throw down Bofo so say all the Bofo ko final there oba ha no ntimi slack man nye
there be the missing person me tell say every championship be EPL La Liga Ghana Premier League you know the standard lineup team bia the basics so Heart of Lions media mama si wo bobo bacho wo mo next we wo hoda da ne
it is a dreams the na am ko Africa
some person so we pick them individually they might not be up to ebi omo ha na so mo ha na so but put them together as team no you won't say oh what the amount you dear and before you cry there's some not individually
okay
but as team Heart of Lions media must see a bomb you who chemistry say Kotoko who chemistry say has who chemistry say even Ghost Stars. This is very easy to say this but I understand Steve players said your coach bet showing couple the tone what do you have to offer and not a civil person reason what do you as a player have to offer
apart from the coach me da say achina you have to also new team no Peter Lati the video analyst and watching kano na yenhwe na afi yeni enkomo yene Lawson to na afi Lawson beverages and no adwama so Lawson dilemma bitters capsules ni nyina e adwama so me boga atena se na yenko agrimo ho the stylist DJ na yemonkomo na bibia anye kama agree say bibia boko
nipa ba nya don minia
national no
nya don couple the